Me. Hi, I'm Erica.
And I'm Taliesin.
And this is Gather Your Anime! Ikimashou! Alright, yeah, we have...
Wow, it's gonna be bad.
That was so
We're
off
off to a great start. It's okay.
We're off to a
It
great
was so
start.
good.
Oh, boy.
We have invited some of the best and brightest in the LA anime
It's very generous of you.
scene.
And some other people.
And yeah. I'm
love you
so
guys.
excited. We have that. We have a Gundam model to build.
We are.
We
Nice.
have yes.
We have snacks.
I
Yes.
bought so many snacks.
So many snacks.
Like these are all the tastes of my childhood, and I can't wait to show it to everybody and to share it with all of you. We have some stories from the past.
Stories from the past. Embarrassing cosplay photos of the 90s.
We have embarrassing 90s cosplay
Yep.
photos.
Deep. It goes
Mine are
deep.
more 2000s, I think.
No, for me it's 90s. That's,
But we have achieved our final forms. Look at us.
It's beautiful. We got some Skippy, right?
yeah, the Skip Meat Love Me jacket.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Japanese and-
This is an anime that we worked on
This is an
together.
anime we were. I think a couple people in here worked
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Worked
Yeah.
on. This is yeah. So, but one of the nice things they did for Skip Beat when we finished dubbing it was they made a few jackets, and I made sure
It's
to get.
beautiful.
And they were like, "Do you want the pink one like the anime, or want a special blue one for boys who are not comfortable wearing pink?" I went, why are you asking me?
How dare you?
No!
The Skippy jackets that they spend the entire series being like, oh my god, why are they so garish? We hate that we have to wear
I was
these
like,
jackets all the time.
Only want to wear this jacket. And actually, and KG is one of the voices of the
That's
logo. So every time the logo pops up, you hear.
Love me.
There's going to be a lot of that tonight, so I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, so please make sure to put them up in the chat. Our guests are here. Let's actually go around and do some introductions.
Yeah.
Who are you, and where might people know you from? Stephanie, would you care to start?
My name is Stephanie. I'm known for voice acting like Sailor Moon and being Ippudo's mommy.
Aww.
And I also I direct a bunch of Gundam series and other things like some anime films. I was in Your Name. We just came back from Sundance premiering an anime dub there. It's the first anime ever at Sundance. It was called Lou Over the Wall.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, and then other stuff that is on the internet that I'm sure people can just type in.
I'm sure many people in
Yes.
here are familiar with your work.
Go into their wikis Oh, is right it an now. anime? Steph's probably in it, yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. Thank you for coming and thank you for bringing Ippudo. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Ippudo?
Ippudo, I don't know what breed he is. He's a rescue, and he's.
The second
Oh
evolution.
my gosh, Ippudo!
Look at that.
He's like, what's happening?
Very worried.
So
He is
concerned.
wearing his Pikachu onesie, which he doesn't like.
So we're
But Mom
torturing
makes
him.
wear it. Yeah, and he's like the best because rescue dogs are the best.
They are.
So
He's a real sweetie.
unless if somebody comes in through a door, though, he'll start barking his head off.
Yeah, it's true.
We've
Can
talked
attest.
about eventually doing Gather Your Puppies.
Please.
As I think I just saw a shudder go through the.
Yeah.
It's just an hour of puppies.
Never worked with kids or animals, and we have just proposed animals and a bunch of
Animals
overgrown
who are
kids.
children, actually.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could have like a doggy jail for like if you bring them and then like they're not.
Bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
It
Then
could,
they
be,
get
it
a
could say
doggy
like dice
timeout.
jail, and we could just put them in the dice jail.
Well, that's me having to silence my phone.
Oh,
Whoopsie.
yeah.
Sorry.
Unprofessional.
Bad-
Professionalism.
Chris.
Sorry.
Chris. Well, you guys, I knew you as Chris.
That's
but
true.
You as Christian
What?
now.
I am
Oh,
Christian
are you-
now.
Wait,
He's a
Oh yeah, no,
That's
it
so
freaks me out all the time.
I know.
What?
I was Chris for a long, long time because I didn't like my full name. I'm Christian Lamont, by the way. I'm a voice actor, writer, and director. The biggest thing I'm probably in is I'm Seliph in Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Choose your legends to vote for Seliph.
Oh no! This is putting your thumb on the scale. I see.
I'm not going to beat Celica, but second place I can do. Yeah, and I've written and directed a whole bunch of stuff as a part of Tales of Zestiria Zacrossu.
Yeah.
Super fun to be involved in that. And I actually have known Erica for a long time.
Yeah.
We were in
How long?
Oh God.
So we
Bring it.
were in Shakespeare at UCLA together.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
were in a production of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
He made strong choices in the audition
make
room
strong
and landed Romeo.
You were Romeo?
Yeah.
I have been
Who were
Romeo.
you?
Yeah.
I was Peter. There was a lot of cast shifting in that, like before behind the scenes. But I was Peter and like a bunch of other like small characters throughout the play. It was set in '80s Berlin around the time of the
Oh
Berlin
my gosh,
Wall,
yes.
and they were supposed to be on
Oh, man.
either side
Speak
of the
with German
wall.
accent?
There was some talk of attempting that, but it was decided against. So.
I'm like trying to
Sound
imagine Romeo and
There
Juliet
was,
with
like-
German accents.
But
Oh,
like
yeah.
the scene
It's still a
where
story of
like
love.
Romeo goes to the apothecary was set at like a German rave. And
Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah. And man, it was a trip.
It
So
was
we
a
did a
trip.
couple of.
Oh, yeah,
and
we
it's
were in
like-
a bunch of stuff
Yeah, we
together.
did like what was it Much Ado About Nothing?
We did Much Ado About Nothing. We did 12th Night. I think you were in 12th Night with me.
I think no, it was I did God, were you in Galatea? And
Yes, Galatea.
So
I was
we
Neptune
were,
in
like-
Galatea.
Yeah, we were like Shakespeare buddies.
We were
back in the
Shakespeare
day.
buddies.
And then at some point, Taliesin said, "Oh, I think I was on an anime job, and I think you know the writer, Christian, Christian." And I was like, "I don't know who that is."
And lo and behold,
Yeah,
you
but
did.
dude, oh my god, and we like roomed together for like one of my first Comic Cons.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my god, we go way back.
When you had the Invader Zim cosplay.
The Invader Zim cosplay, yeah. Oh.
Please tell me there's a photograph of this.
Oh my
There
God.
has
Not
to
in
be
there,
somewhere.
unfortunately, but.
Oh.
Mistake.
Yeah, so Shakespeare, we're gonna do a Shakespeare episode of this at some point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Gather your Shakespeare.
Gather your
Yes.
Shakespeare.
Yes.
Gather-
I was in the UCLA Shakespeare reading and performance group. Just
Oh my god, me
That
too.
was
oh
our
my god,
group.
that was our group.
Okay, I'm much older than you.
This is actually
I
gather
was-
your coincidence.
I was like,
You guys do this your
like
years.
a bunch of stuff.
Oh man,
Yeah. I mean, I knew like when I was in it, the like founding people were like still in it. I think.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, because that was the one thing, because they wouldn't let, at the time that I was at UCLA, they wouldn't let non-theater majors do theater.
Yeah, they
No,
were real
that's
upset
how it
about
was
that for
for
a
us,
while.
yeah. That's
and
how it was
so
supposed to.
and so that was the outlet for
Yeah.
it. Oh, good times.
Good-
it's
good
so good. And
times.
then we've gotten to work together. We did a Fire. Oh wait, no, you weren't doing Fire Emblem Heroes. Yeah, but it was at.
No, I wasn't
Cup of
directing it,
tea.
but we were at the studio at the
We
same
were at the
time,
studio.
and,
We
and
run
we're
into
in
each
some
other at the
stuff
studio
that
a lot.
hopefully will be coming out this year
Yeah,
that we'll be doing
there is
together.
stuff. Yeah, so excited.
It's gonna be awesome.
Did you work on Skippy? You worked on Skippy.
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
wrote
well,
like
I
at
remember,
least half of it, and I
Oh,
was
that's right.
Emerald. I was one of Christina V's little slave
I was
boys.
so tired. That's right. I forgot about that.
Typecasting.
I know,
God.
it's seriously, they just took my real life and put it into an anime.
Yeah.
Moving on down the couch.
Yes, Marcy.
Hello, I'm Marcy Edwards. I am a voice actress and visual artist. You will know me as a multitude of characters in Black Desert Online, the Goo Lady in Hyperdimensional Neptunia.
One of the Neptunia games, anyway.
Holy.
Amongst the
It never-
plethora. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Love them.
many. And I've
You're in Kill la Kill. You're in what other shows were you in? Somewhere in Sword Art, right?
I like that your husband knows your resume better than you.
He does.
No.
But I have been cast in a couple more things, and unfortunately I can't talk about
No.
them. But they're much
That's
bigger, and I'm
Coming
really
to your streaming
excited.
services soon.
And this is my husband, KGT.
Hello. I'm KG. I do voice acting too. So in anime, you can hear me as Archer from the Fate Stay Night series. Just recently, I'm Dazai in Bungo Stray Dogs. And in video games, you can hear me as Owain in Fire Emblem. And where else? Like
There's another big anime you're forgetting. It's a real big one. You were just playing the game.
I was just playing the game.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait.
What? Huh?
The
I think. Look,
yeah.
I've been playing the Dragon Ball Fighter for like hours and hours, and that's all I've been talking about backstage.
Right?
So that's probably what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But side note, you guys pick up the Dragon Ball Fighter game.
Yes.
It's so good.
Best anime
It's so
video game
good.
ever made.
Oh
Why are you
my
watching
god.
us right now? We're not playing. The
Right,
Dragon Ball
exactly.
fighting
Level up,
sports.
get good.
You should do both. Yeah.
Do both.
Yes,
Do
please.
both.
Do both.
And Yamcha's super strong in it, so that makes me so happy. Yeah,
makes
he's
some
actually
sense.
like top tier now. He's so good.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
If you ever
You
wanted
guys-
to watch Yamcha beat up Majin Buu, it's like it's.
Now you can.
It's
It's
very
Oh.
pretty.
It's fantastic.
It's all my brother and I were talking about earlier today. It's just all Dragon Ball Z fighting games.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. I want to play that now. Why am I here?
Why are we doing
Exactly.
Are we
this?
doing
Playing
this?
video
Everybody, let's
games.
go home
Buy
and
a
play
copy
Dragon Ball
for
in our
Geek and
second
Sundry so we
home.
can have it here.
Calpico.
Am I up?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. I'm Chris Neosi. Some of you guys out there might know me on the internet. Unfortunately, as Kerbifer. Otherwise.
Unfortunately.
I'm still primarily an animation creator, but I fell backwards into voiceover and have been able to do a lot of it in the last few years. In the anime world, biggest one is Mob Psycho 100. I was Reigen. I was on the Godzilla Netflix anime movie. I was Haruo on that. Napping Princess, which was in theaters, I did with Stephanie, which was amazing. A bunch of
Gundam.
guys in various Gundam shows, a bunch of various Pokemon characters across different things. Tales of Zestiria with Christian I did, Dezel, Fate, Apocrypha,
Oh
right?
yeah,
the new
the
one?
super
The new
yeah.
one. Yeah, I'm Karnan.
the super edgy Lancer.
Yes.
What's his name? Yes.
Lancer of Red. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. Sailor Moon, Pegasus, the uncut redub, lots of stuff, and I know Erica. We were together on a video game that it is now in beta called
That's right.
Sprint Vector.
Sprint Vector, and we
Yes.
are going to be playing it. We're going to do a tournament with Chris and another Chris
Yes.
on Tuesday with the
Yes.
developers on
Yes.
Game Engine, so stay tuned for that.
Yes.
4 p.m. on
indeed.
Tuesday. That's going to be fun.
I see some people I recognize in the chat. Hi.
Oh, yeah?
Hello,
Yeah.
people, guys.
Oh God, not Kerbifer leaving. No, go.
Of your
some
many
beautiful
fans.
memes. That is in fact a Beck plushie. I know. I saw someone asking in the one of the every now and then people make custom stuffed animals for shows that should have had them. So that was a Beck, and I have a little devil dog.
Hellhound.
Sadly, my hellhound has lost his extra eyeballs because he's very old.
Oh,
Oh,
poor guy.
But he still
He's
does
got
okay.
a little Taliesin
got
collar.
hell-
He
Hellhound
says
cataracts.
Taliesin collar and says-
Taliesin, why don't you tell people about your anime background?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because that's
mine's
not something
weird.
we really have talked about.
Like the origin of Taliesin with anime.
Oh, it goes
Or-
okay, yeah. The
Oh,
origin
yeah?
of Allison with anime is deep. It goes deep.
Yeah,
It goes deep.
I've
does it?
only heard stories. This is
'Cause-
before I knew him.
Well, yeah, we met in the 2000s.
We met on Reader.
It was right before
Reader
Reader
Die?
Die. It was right before
You guys
Reader
were
Die.
on
that we
Reader
met.
Die?
She's in RD the TV. She's amazing in RD the TV. She's an insufferable writer who's just so
Very
full of herself.
annoying.
It's great.
That's awesome.
I love the stuff you do in Reader Die. So yeah, I got into anime back in, oh god, let's see, 1990, 89, 90, which,
What?
so I got into anime because of a show when it was currently on the air called Saint Seiya.
Saint Seiya.
I had
Jeez.
a friend named Nick who was a super anime nerd back when they didn't make anime nerds. And
Fresh off the line.
there was just no infrastructure for it really, and he kind of brought me into this deep dark hole, and we were like literally renting tapes from the local Japanese market with no subs and just watching 8 hours of straight Japanese television. Like, it was bad. And then slowly, my first AnimeCon was, I would think it was AnimeCon 91 in San Jose, California at the Red Lion Hotel. I went to ACON 4 in 94.
Acon 4. The fourth ever Acon.
So-
Just let that sink in.
Sink in. Actually, here, just to show some horrifying things. I had a Urusei Yatsura in Naba cosplay. That I think we have a photo.
Dude,
of.
can we pull up the photo of that?
There I am. That's
What a
my
work of
real
art.
hair.
That's your real hair?
That's my prom hair. Because I had was
Did
about
we
to go to
have?
prom.
Did you have?
It's
I
so
didn't love my
beautiful.
prom. I have my prom photo.
We will show. We
Yeah,
can
I'll show
that
later.
Yeah.
But that was me working
Oh
a
my
booth.
God.
I think I was working Kimono My House's booth back then, which was a big San Jose, and I was just a hired hand. We did back when, and oh god, should we show the awful? Let's show the video. Okay, let me preface this video before it runs. It's going to be horrifying. We did I was 16, I want to say, years old when this video was made. They gathered
excited.
almost every Japanese anime cosplayer in the United States together for a Japanese what do they call it?
Game show.
Yeah, like Japanese game shows are weird. I'm warning you. And like they were asking trivia about people who like Japan who lived in the United States, and so they gathered every cosplayer in the United States was about 12 of us.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And so this is so I warn you, you're going to see the Japanese host who is dressed a little horrifyingly, interviewing a bunch of us, and there's a picture of me in my rabbit suit in this video. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
it's called Not a Hold of the World. That was every cosplayer in the entire United States. Practically.
oh,
Oh my god.
oh,
Like, oh man, it's deep.
oh, you guys.
And
I feel like I remember that,
Oh,
Luca.
and there's Tavisha, and they're like, yeah, there's Dale's still.
This is amazing.
Wait, and there's
There it is.
It's about to get worse. Okay, here it comes. Yeah, hold on.
It's about to
Go,
get
go, go.
Here comes Maha Go Go Go.
So here's the character from the cartoon. There was
yeah.
and then here's me. Oh.
Oh, look at
You're too
that.
adorable for words. It's not fair.
Oh, okay. Oh dear.
That's Tavisha?
That's
And
my
Tavisha's
God.
Kiki.
Oh my gosh. And that other guy looked like Mike Toole, but it's probably not
I
Mike
don't
Toole.
think it was Mike Toole. It was a long time ago. It was a very long time ago.
Oh my god.
And we had a
makes
little
my
mini
heart
con
sing.
because they gave us a hotel and we just partied for the weekend. It was like we got drunk and watched like weird old like pre-internet like corn pone film like mini movies and fake dubs. It was great.
So I want to hear some of people's anime origin stories, but really quickly too,
Yeah.
like what anime have you been in?
Well, I started
how
fan
did you
dubbing.
start?
I was a fan dubber.
Oh my god, you were a fan
Fan
dubber.
dubber before
The
fandom.
original fan
Wow.
Can I just explain? Because I didn't start out as a fan dubber, but I was
No.
a fan subber.
Which
And-
was a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So
But you guys, like nowadays, people who do it have it so easy.
oh.
So easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
conversation.
God.
You
Like,
kids.
You don't understand. Like before, when we used to like one of the like. Also back, I mean, it's a very controversial because it's a form of bootlegging. Like,
It was-
let's be
But
real.
it wasn't
It was-
available
it was a
anywhere
different
else.
time.
Right,
You could
it wasn't-
get
it
if
wasn't
you didn't
available.
bootleg it.
But
I
like,
remember bootleg
but
tapes.
there was also like rivalry between different fan dubbing band
Yep,
subbing
Fan
groups
subbing.
too.
Were there
The
fan
fan
subbing
subbers had like a
factions?
whole and like you had to send them a VHS tape in the mail
Yes.
and then go ahead.
Because there were groups that sold their fan subs, and then the group that I was in was very against that, and it was all for trade. So what would happen is like we would sub a series, and then we'd reach out to a different group who'd sub a series, and then we'd make copies and we'd trade. Like we'll send you our series, you send us your series, and so there was that community.
Oh.
So we were very like anti groups who like charged for stuff. So and then so your reward for this non-pay of all these works of like all this hours going into fan subbing is that you'd get a copy of the show. And then the way it would work is like, I mean, now you guys have like digital copy and like click in a file and stuff like that. But you would bring a VCR to your party, the session, and then they would then we would daisy chain all.
we had Betamax machines that we would.
Oh my god, you're older than me.
Just because we were trying to maintain quality through because
Oh,
it was like
right.
I got a
Yes.
fourth generation.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was the thing. So like basically, how high on the totem pole of the on the fan subbing group? Like if you were like a big head honcho, you'd be like first in the line.
First
Oh
of
my
dating.
Yeah.
god.
If you were like new or didn't do that much work, you'd be like at the butt end.
Oh my God.
You'd be like 12 or
Yeah.
15
Fan
of
sub
the
politics.
of the David.
It was it was
and
like playing Vampire the Masquerade. It was so deep.
and like and VHS tapes, like when you're like post, even if you're like 5th or 10th on the chain, the degradation
It's
of the
like
quality.
colors.
Also,
Oh.
yes, and then also if you were like way at the end, you see on your tape, play, record, play,
Yep.
record, play,
Play,
record,
record.
play, record, because it gets recorded
Oh.
On like each machine. and they're all
on each
different
machine that
machines.
is before you.
A lot of people in the chat are saying like, "Oh my god, I remember mail ordering fan dubbed or
Yeah.
fan
Sub.
subs tapes in high school, and everybody's just like going on a
4F
huge nostalgia
Productions.
trip."
4F Productions was a big one. Corn Pone was a big one.
Anime
Corn Pone did all
Labs.
Anime Labs.
Yeah, they like to add cursing in every other line. I remember
And
notoriously.
like some of the times they would release just the script so that if you had like a video toaster you could actually press your own subtitles. like it was deep.
It was like you don't understand. You'd get a Laserdisc player. You'd get a computer with a chip. You'd run Substation Alpha. Also, the thing is like you would time code it, but there'd have to be like a sync point that is 00. So it's 00. So you'd have to pick something, and then somebody when you ran it would have to be like on the finger and be like, hit it. And if you hit it late, then all the time code's off, right?
Oh.
So
The whole
then
thing
you have
dies.
the whole thing
God.
dies. So you have to like run it again.
If you were really lucky, they would try and hit the show before the Laserdisc came out, and you would get all the commercials.
Oh,
too.
yeah, yeah.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, you get like commercials in it.
There were no casual anime fans.
This
No,
was-
no, absolutely
It was
not.
You would love that.
It
You were in it
was
or
really
you were not.
hard to
Yeah.
like, you know.
My first dealer was. Do you remember Enrique Galvez?
I know
Oh,
Enrique.
yeah. He was my first. He was my first fan sub dealer. Like $2 a tape. Come on, man. I'm like, oh.
This is amazing.
And you
Yeah.
could
Miss that
buy
boy.
in bulk color-coded VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Like that, because and then you'd have like nicely printed labels for your group, like.
And then
It
people
was-
would cut anime music videos and fill out the last 4 minutes of the tape with like whatever anime music videos that they would have to fill it out. It would be great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a world I did not know
no,
existed.
it was deep.
Well, you guys have it easy these days.
So-
I'm just saying, it's like.
For me, it was because I went to a church in Little Tokyo, and so I don't know what they had there. I'm sure they had just like the Japanese VHS tapes and stuff, and so they'd play them there, and I'd see that there. And then I had a friend whose dad would always like go back and forth to Japan, and we got them through there. But I never I never knew that there was this like community that of people that other because nobody else like at my school knew what anime was.
It was
At all.
It was the CFO and Cal Animag were the two that I remember. This is the Cartoon Fantasy Organization.
Yeah, Cal Animage was basically a collection of college anime clubs.
Wow.
And that they formed like a
How did you
like
get
a
in
group.
touch with each other though? How did
Like,
everybody
through
know?
Rep
something
Arts
like-
Anime.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I feel old.
yeah.
Pre-internet, pre-web internet.
Yeah.
It was all over the pre-web.
Cool.
Pre-web internet was very big. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dubbed directly to tape. We didn't have digital, so literally, if like you had to get the line exactly on the flap, or you had to do it again. And we had no M&E, so like literally, there was no moving.
But
no
you know
editing.
what? I'm friends with Mark Handler, and he worked on like old school Voltron and all that kind of stuff. And he explained to me that back in that day was when they dubbed it originally, it was also to tape. And then they had a stopwatch. So when you look at old dubs and you're like, oh, they're not great, and then you think about like what the actors had to go through, you're kind of like,
It was
well,
nuts.
I don't know that I could be that good. And also as a director, you'd listen to it and you'd be like, do I think the actor can do better? Because if you did a new take, it would record over the previous one.
couldn't
So you
keep takes.
only had the most recent take.
It was so painful.
Yeah.
It was so painful.
That is a dark, dark world.
Yeah.
It was, and then we had to do editorial on it, and of course, I didn't have a proper editing bay. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
I didn't have a real editing bay for editing in, because we did a little bit of recutting of a couple things. I had to use a splicer.
Like actually cut it? Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Cut, tape,
Wow.
This
and
is
roll
amazing.
with like a
Caveman anime.
Dedicated.
No, I don't think dedicated. I think it was just like poor decision making.
I think it was like back then you were so desperate for anime.
Yeah.
And that like that's the
It
only
was
way you
really-
could get it.
Yeah.
You had to like make your own.
It was so
Like,
intense.
I'd watch it without any like subtitles or anything. I had no idea what was going on, like, or a vague idea, but like
Right.
that was all you had. You had the little drips and drabs, and then like occasionally, you go to the stores, like the stores in Little Tokyo, and they had like random characters that you didn't know what it went to, but you got them anyway because it looked really exciting and colorful. I guess in LA I had a lot easier than a lot of people growing up.
Was Pony Toy Go Round still around when you were a kid, or is it gone by that point?
I don't know. I
You would
don't
know.
think so.
Does anybody? You remember Pony Toy Go Round, right? In on the plaza? Were you not around? Oh no,
I didn't.
you were.
I didn't live.
You were up north.
Yeah, I
weren't
was
you?
in North
okay.
That's right.
I went to the church on like First or on like
Oh yeah. I know
right
exactly
there, the one
the one.
that is connected to Honda Plaza, and so like after the service we'd just all go over there, and there was this like creepy arcade that had like typing of the dead in Japanese that we would play.
Wait, so you have to type in Japanese?
So you have to type in Japanese,
Yeah.
and it was
To kill the
fine,
zombies.
and it would be fine because you just like type like you look at it and like match it up, but except that for the bosses they ask you questions and you have to answer questions in Japanese, so you just be like.
That was the one in the Yaohan Plaza.
And the
second floor.
Yaohan, it used to be Yaohan Plaza.
If you want to see this, there's still footage of this arcade because it was in an REM video, Crush with Eyeliner.
No way.
There's a bunch of Japanese kids running around Honda Plaza in that era.
That
being
was like
stupid.
us.
So-
That was us.
Yeah, I know, it's like-
and like the tokens had little sakura
Asian, but
blossoms
yeah.
on them,
Okay.
and like, oh my god, yeah.
It was so, and they had the giant clock that never worked.
Yeah, I remember when it worked.
Yeah,
I remember a time when it worked. But anyway, actually, speaking of my weird Japanese childhood, I want to get into the snacks so that we can all get
yeah, no, we
snacks.
need some snacks and talk
Okay,
about. Yeah.
so like actually people can start helping themselves, like, and if you want to
Are
pour yourself.
you-
So okay, yeah. So dango is for like I know a lot of you guys know all this because we kind of grew up with this culture, but for people who don't know, so dango is like little mochi, little rice balls that are like sticky, chewy rice, and then it's got like a sweet soy sauce glaze on it, so it's like sweet and salty at the same time, and you always see them eating it at like summer festivals. It's a very summer festival food. Yes, so please, if people want that, we have plates.
Oh,
things
yeah,
over
plates.
there.
I got
Yeah,
napkins and plates, man.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And along with that, so that's
fantastic.
the
put them
dango
somewhere
yaki,
I
and there's
know.
another one that's like mugwort, sort of
I'm
mixed
excited
in
for the
with the
mugwort.
mochi and covered in red azuki bean. So azuki bean is like it's a red bean and is often ground up into a paste and mixed with sugar. So it's like a sweet paste.
Mugwort is also a traditional ingredient in.
So if you
in
guys, want, if
absinthe.
anybody wants
Weirdly
to,
enough.
you would know that one.
I used to make it.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
You want to
One
plate
issue
or you
you
want to
want
just?
I want to onigiri.
I believe in
Oh
this.
yeah, no, I
Just
want to
one
go
second.
onigiri.
So we have onigiri, which is the rice ball, aka donuts from
Oh my
Pokemon.
god, don't start.
Or Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Or anything from the
Also,
90s.
guys, so we have the unwrapping of them is like
art.
it's an art form.
What do you
So
got?
we have, there is one that is tuna flakes. We have salmon, a lot of salmon. And there's one that's salmon and then kombu, which is like a seaweed.
Yeah.
And then it's got little pickles in it, which I love. And then umeboshi, which is
You going that
plum.
one?
It's like pickled
Alright.
plum. And that one is like, that's like the weird one. And
That's a
stuff.
fun one, man.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, you want which one
Can
do
I
you
have
like?
sake? The salmon.
I'll also take a salmon.
Okay, wait, check it out.
Are you gonna
Watch
do it?
this, watch this.
I don't know if they can. Oh, it's probably too far
Oh,
away.
yeah.
And then we'll get. Oh, there we go.
Ah!
Look at that.
So,
There you go.
there are numbers on here. It says like 1, 2. Whoops, I keep moving it. 1, 2, and 3. And there's a little tab. And then you pull the tab. It's actually kind of tricky. So you pull the tab. I would hold it right here, so because you have to pull like past the labeling.
All the way.
Sorry. Until it stops. It doesn't. You can't pull it completely. And then, where it says 2 and 3, you pull this side out. But here's the crazy thing about it. My dog is
Yeah.
is if you pull it, it's supposed to kind of like stay wrapped.
I don't think
Ta-da!
I've ever been that careful
that
with one of
And
these.
this
blew my
has-
mind.
Because it's very easy for the nori, the
I wanna
seaweed,
try
to
this.
get like really soggy. And
I-
so
I'm
if
not
you
a
keep
pro
it
at this.
separate, and you have these great like the Japanese kombini, the convenience marts. They have lots of like to-go food, and they're like packaged in very ingenious ways so as to make them like good on the go.
Oh
so
my
good. I will
god,
say-
you're right.
What?
Dave?
Everyone else do this right!
I've never been able to get this out in
Wow.
one piece before in my life.
You're welcome.
I am
Welcome.
Like magic.
Wait till we get to the Ramune, because that's when shit's gonna get real.
Oh, is there a
Yeah,
secret
you bet.
room?
Oh, the
Oh,
ramen
like-
opening is crazy.
The first time I went to
feel
Japan, I was
betrayed
so
by
poor. All I ate was from convenience stores.
My breakfast every morning when I lived
I
there.
had so many onigiris.
My umebashi was wrapped separately from my seaweed.
That's how it's supposed
Yeah,
to be.
that's how it's supposed to be. You have to open it
You
up
have to- if you
according
open it
to
by
the.
the
I
numbers,
just
it
failed
folds
at
together.
this.
Did you not pay
I
attention to
did
the tutorial?
No, I did. I
I
did
think
it by the numbers.
You
It's
probably, you probably pushed too hard. You have to kind of like loosely pull it out.
You have to.
We
You
have-
have to.
yeah.
I'm
gently
conflicted.
onigiri.
Which one? I'm
gentle.
conflicted.
Falling
Two
apart.
times, like,
For you, I probably
Seven.
So also, there are napkins and plates if anybody needs them.
We'll
So,
see you once you can get your
Also,
revenge.
in the same vein as the dango, there's suama, which is like a sweet. It's a mochi again, like pounded rice, but mixed with sugar, and they're like little pretty colors and everything. It's just a very simple one. And this one is I forget what it's called, but it is it's like a flaky crust around the azuki, the sweet red bean and mochi. So that one's really good, and it's very, very good with tea. Another thing that's really popular in Japan is like sort of French fusion stuff. So Swiss rolls are really popular, and they'll do things like have like this is matcha flavored. They put matcha in a lot of things and give it a very Japanese flavor. So Swiss roll cakes are really good, and we have knives to cut them up if anybody wants any. What else do we have? These are the baby ball cookies that I had when I was a baby. Because they're like really dry, and you just gotta keep them on your tongue, and they dissolve. And they're so good.
You opted for the Calpico.
Calpico.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I have
if
a
anyone
question
wants
for
it-
you.
Yes.
What is the difference between Calpico and Calpis?
So Calpis is just what they call it in Japan because it's an awkward name in America.
You mean they changed the name because
changed the name
because
because
it sounds like Cowpiss.
It sounds like
So it's
Calpis.
exactly the
Oh,
same.
it sounds
Yeah.
like cow piss.
So my mom actually has a funny story about that. I'm really glad you brought that up because her
We just got
uncle
them.
would always used
Don't
to
lie.
tell her kind of like
I think
apocryphal stories, and he said that when they were naming, they created this drink, what is now
Calpis.
Calpico.
Mm.
So they created this drink in Japan like right around the time like in the 50s when the GIs were around, and they gave it to them to drink, and they're like, "What do you think?" And they're like, "Oh, it's great. You should call it cow piss." And they're like, "Karupisu." Okay.
Wait, so the GIs named it?
Yeah, so it might be an apocryphal story, but supposedly some like jerk Americans were like, "Call it cow piss," and they did. And then when they exported it to America, they were like, "Oh, we should change it to Calpico."
It's spelled the CALPIS, right?
Yeah, it's like Karupisu,
Yeah.
which is like the phoneticism
Of
of Calpis. So yeah, but I love
I
it.
will say in Japan they
If anybody
really
wants
they
any-
do enjoy English words that are attractive to the eye that don't necessarily have
Yes.
the most pleasing.
Yes.
Yes.
In German.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with like if any of you guys have ever seen like Japanese like playthroughs of like Mario games, like speedruns or whatever, and it's always like shine get. Like it drives translators nuts. Like get conjugates, gotten. It's not get, but they just love the
They love
word
it.
get so much. It's ridiculous.
I will admit I once wore a like badly translated Japanese T-shirt while directing a game.
Oh my god.
Just to be really passive aggressive
English is great.
about some decisions they were making with the English in their game. They're like, no one's gonna matter. And they're like, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, no one cares, do they? Do they? And they're like, all right, fine, point taken. I'm not
And then
gonna say
also
what
there's
company that was.
Daifuku mochi, which
Oh,
is the
Daifuku.
mochi
fair.
that has the azuki bean inside of it. Yeah, man.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Red bean, it's mine. I steal it.
Try this.
Is
This
there
one's
any
really good.
top
It's
one
cute.
left?
Yeah.
I'll
Top one
also
is
say-
the pickled, the little yellow pickles, the pickled daikon radish. They're really good.
Oh, pickle rash is so good.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if there's
they're-
anything
I'll
they
take
wouldn't
the
put
one.
Pikachu
Alright.
on at this point.
No.
It's very good.
Okay, yeah. So, like, the Japanese love having like really cute mascots on things, and like Pokemon is on a lot of
Mistio.
stuff, and
Grape
One
sparkling.
Piece is on a lot of stuff, and they'll just have like popular characters shilling for lots of drinks.
I got the
and
Rosa
things.
Versailles eyeliner.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Dude, I have Sailor Moon maxi pads.
Why aren't they here?
Right?
Well, I actually used them all.
Oh,
I mean,
How fitting.
that's fair.
two different people gave them to me. Christina V gave them to me, and then my other friend gave them to me. But they are huge. They're like they're like
This is making
extra
me so happy.
overnight.
Gotta-
It's like
Oh my god.
they're like it's
'Cause
like
you'll be
this
fighting
thick
evil
and-
while you're wearing it.
Fighting evil by moonlight.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you need some
Yeah.
heavy
Winning love
absorption.
is easy.
It's a heavy absorption. it's borderline. It depends. Like it's like. Yeah.
This makes me so happy.
And there's Pookie, of course.
Oh.
That is probably like it is insane to me. When I was younger, it was so hard to get this stuff. You'd have to go to import stores or Japanese marts. Now you can get it at like Ralph's.
Ralph's, yeah.
You can get there's an Asian
Pocky.
food. It is amazing to me,
Chocolate
and
and
I
strawberry.
always loved strawberry. Now you can get you can even get the matcha flavor here in the U.S.
There's a bunch of. I've
Like
still.
men's Pocky,
Men's
and
Pocky.
in case you're wondering why it's men's Pocky, it's because it's dark chocolate, and
Yeah.
like in Japan, like it's considered like very feminine to like desserts, and so there actually are cafes where they make food to look like manly food, like burgers or hot dogs, but they're really sweet.
I just
Like a
wanted to
dumbbell
point.
cake
I just
or
want to
something.
point out though that the nutritional value of
No,
of
please
pop-
don't
of
let me.
pop-
Oh, no.
Bring
No,
it, bring
don't do
it,
this.
Bring it.
that
Hiding.
This
Serving
image right
size.
here. Yeah.
serving size is. Wait, what?
One bag. One bag. There's
I'm
micro,
sorry.
an entire
Yeah, there's
bag.
like
Well,
bags,
there's
but it's
probably
like
like
little
6 or
bags
7
in
in
there.
there.
There's
One
like a
bag.
lot of
One bag.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
Eat
60
Pocky to your
calories per
heart's
bag.
content.
All right, all right.
I can live with
That's
that.
doable.
And
You know what I
it's
mean for doing
2.5 grams of fat
Oh.
per bag.
Okay, the strawberry Pocky,
Is that-
way worse.
Damn it!
No!
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
8 grams of saturated fat.
Wow.
Wait,
The whole box. Good God.
But it's strawberry.
But is that
That's
one
healthy.
container?
I was lied to my
this
whole
is
life.
like double the number of.
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense. 340 calories is. Wait, hold on. I
Wait,
gotta
how
open
many
this.
grams? Just say how many grams.
Oh, wait,
So 70 grams. And 13,
13
grams.
grams.
Oh, no contest.
Oh my
Calories
God.
in here.
What have I been doing with my life?
No!
I seem to remember red wine flavored Pocky when I was in Japan, and I've not seen it since, and it vexes
I've
me.
not
There's red wine, there's
Might be
banana,
Japan.
there's like a billion
Green
different Pocky. Oh, I love green,
Green
tea.
tea Pocky.
I will say those shrimp chips, though. I feel like every Asian kid was
So
raised.
yeah, so
on
yeah.
did you also have this problem where like it's like you offer them to people and they're delicious,
Yeah.
but they smell a little
Yeah,
weird.
they smell
They're
like
a little funky.
shrimp,
So like
you know?
people are like, no, that's gross.
But I had the dried squid snack.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
Nobody
Ika.
wants
Ika.
to like none of my non-Asian
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
It's hard
You
to
can
trade
say it.
lunches, huh?
I was about to say,
It's,
man.
I mean, more
thing.
for me. I don't care, but like
Yeah,
So-
dude, these rock.
For me, I remember like my mom used to make me things like a lot of Japanese food growing up. And like I remember one time she made me onigiri for my lunch, and she like packed it all cute like in a bento and everything. And like the kids were like, "Oh, what is Erica eating? That's gross and weird." And like I like started crying because they're making fun of my food. And then like one popular boy like took pity on me. He's like, if you don't eat that food, I will. And so they're like, I guess it's okay. But now there are literally onigiri shops. Like
Yeah.
here in Santa Monica, like there's this trendy place, Sunny Blue, and all they sell is onigiri, and they're delicious. And that it blows my mind. And I'm so glad that I can share snacks with people who appreciate them and love them.
I had the same thing when I was a kid. My mom made pot stickers. Pot stickers.
Mm.
What's
Handmade?
wrong with pot stickers? Yeah.
Oh.
She packed them for lunch, and then I don't even think they smelled funny. I think it just the other kids looked at it
They
and
didn't
it was
know what it
different,
was.
and they didn't know what it was. And then the same thing. They were like, "That stinks." Ew. And they all like a bunch of people just got up and moved over.
That's what happened.
And then didn't want to sit next to me. And
Man, we
there
had a better
was this
school.
one chubby little Japanese kid named Hiro, and he just was like, "My mom makes that. It's really good."
Yeah.
He
like-
was the hero.
But I was so upset. I didn't eat my lunch.
Oh my
There
God.
were times when that happened.
Yeah. And it's sad because it's like you get all excited. It's your favorite food, and then like somebody makes you feel. It's like
It's like a human YouTube comment. Just walks off.
They downvoted your dumplings, man.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
just walks over and like puts a sticker on yours. Down. Just like,
But it's like really cool now that And I don't know if you get this too, where it's like now it's popular and you're making it into fusion stuff. I get it, but I'm just really happy that people appreciate it now.
Yeah.
And I can share it with people.
This scent is.
This
really
smells exactly like this smells exactly like Strawberry Shortcake's head.
Yeah, on the doll.
Yeah.
The scented dolls.
It's
yeah.
just like
Oh, that was a real thing? I thought that was just
Yeah.
like some sort of
No, the
horrifying
dolls were scented.
extrapolation.
No, the dolls were scented.
the dolls were scented, and like I would go to a friend's house, and if they like if they had I'd just like go down the line like a fucking.
Chad is like, pot stickers are so
Bring
good.
Huckleberry
Yeah.
Pie.
Stickers are crack.
Oh, sour grapes.
Don't ruin my
lemonade.
life like
Okay,
this.
all right, I'm good. Yeah.
I love that the
Yes, I know all their names. Shut up.
the Japanese version.
Have you made it? Have you made pot stickers from scratch?
Mm-hmm.
It's
My
really easy. It's fun.
It's like, but mine are always so ugly.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
But they taste good.
Your pot stickers are ugly.
Ugly. But yeah, and like
Oh my God.
now, like that I'm older, like I can make like the chicken katsu and everything in curries and.
You should do a cooking show, Japanese food.
Yes.
cooking show.
Gather your
we
ingredients.
Gather your
Yeah.
Oh my god! I want that.
I'm very
And you
bad
can
at
enjoy
cooking.
it.
I have very ugly food, but it
We
tastes
got people.
good.
We got people. We could do a whole thing.
Do it.
We once went. My roommate was a sushi chef for a while, and he learned how to tempura things. And there was just a brief period where like it was like owning a sandwich maker. Where like we can deep fry tempura batter anything, and we're like, bring it in. What do we got? I don't know. Pickles. Deep fry it. Put it in the tempura batter. I'm like,
You guys
all
should have like a
It's
mukbang
like-
episode where you just eat for
And you
like
can-
2 hours.
It's like a will it blend? Will it
Will
fry?
it tempura? Yeah, we were like he was at one point just like taking cheese, deep frying it, putting it, covering in batter, deep frying it, covering in cheese, battering it, and deep frying it. And he called it deep fried cheese. Deep fried cheese, deep fried cheese. It was just like
No, I would have loved that.
Yeah, anybody please,
Catty,
please
man.
come
Oh.
and get
What
food
is
if
this
you want.
here?
This is also red.
Yeah, so there's red bean and
Oh my
mochi
god!
inside of like
I can't have
a
any more red
flaky
beans.
crust.
I'm gonna die.
I thought you
little
were
red
So
bean.
good. No, I do.
I'm not a fan of red bean.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take it all.
You're so
Consistency,
LA
that's a
right
little-
now,
No,
Chris.
it's not that. It's
I'll
it's
steal
too
one of them.
sweet.
man, those strawberry shortcake.
I will
balls,
do
huh?
any other filling. I prefer
Very
I
sweet.
prefer like a custard filling or taro filling.
Oh, I love taro.
Or I'm just not into red bean. No, you do.
I will say I do like green
red
tea
beans.
now, but I don't like green tea flavored stuff. I'm not quite.
No,
not
it
on board
is like
with
the
that yet.
strawberry of it's like the strawberry flavor of Asia, where like green tea flavor is different than the
Yeah,
flavor of
yeah,
green
yeah,
tea, whereas
yeah.
like strawberry flavor is different than strawberry. Like they're
Yes,
just completely
yeah. Yeah,
disconnected
yeah,
to each other.
I super love. The outside. Warning: the outside is like a little dry because it's meant to be had with like tea and stuff. So
Oh.
if you have some in the.
Can you show it?
Where's the tea?
Hold it up.
Oh, no, we should have had tea. I should have brought
hold
my
it up.
matcha.
No, throw it, throw it,
Throw it?
throw it.
Oh, don't do it.
Throw it to
No,
solution.
do it. Over the camera. Do it. Yeah.
Well done.
Hey, crew, do you want it?
One more, one more.
One more.
Share with the crew.
How best.
Beautiful.
You guys are not going to be on Charade's team.
I thought you were like, I need a close up.
That's what I thought too.
It's like no.
In the bag. Oh, I need to put this
Speaking of
back.
which, so there's like green tea,
Kit Kat.
Kit Kats,
There's
and
every
everything.
flavor cake.
Oh yeah, there's every
Oh.
flavor, and they have
Wasabi.
regional. I had wasabi. I really like the wasabi because it tastes
Sake.
like
Oh,
slightly spicy white chocolate.
Yes.
Do that, and
so
then
good.
The
sesame-
sake flavor is really
sake
good.
flavors, and there's like a hojicha one, and it's like every region apparently is known for different like kinds of Kit Kat flavors.
This is also how you become a Halloween legend in your community. Is go to either find a local Japanese market and stock up on candy for Halloween, because those kids, they won't even know what they're putting in. Well, you know,
You'll
they'll
scare
be
their
like,
parents.
The parents will be like, "What is this?" And like, "It's fine, trust me." But also, and like, are we gonna plug the box? Your box of, I mean, we don't have to.
Oh God,
show
where did it go? Oh, it's outside. But yeah, so I've
Because
been.
people are mentioning that they can't have these things because they
So-
live somewhere weird,
But you can.
or we
There
live
is-
somewhere weird.
There's a subscription service. They are not sponsoring us, by the way.
No, this is
but
just us.
This is just us. I'm a fan of it. They called Japan Crate, and it's like Loot Crate, only for Japanese snacks. So every month they send you like curated boxes of Japanese snacks and with different themes. Like last week's theme or last month's theme was Attack on Titan, so a lot of like potato flavored
Oh, that's
stuff.
why it's that box. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had like for winter, like a lot of wintry things. So like like corn soup like mixed and like
Wow.
yeah, and then they have like yams and stuff for fall. It's really great. So Japan Crate, I again, they're
I'm
not
excited.
paying me for this, but I'm just a fan that people can
What's
get.
your favorite Japanese snack?
Ooh.
I
Her eyes widen like.
I know mine.
What's yours? What's yours?
Takoyaki.
Oh!
that's the thing.
Yeah,
That
that's
kind of
good.
a snack, though.
That is a
That's
snack.
like-
It is a- it
I don't
is
know.
a carnival
Yamato
food.
does it.
It's a Japanese
I really-
carnival food, and and they make it in those weird little things that you can get a little frying pan. And I love like
Can I have
deep
a
fried
Alright.
octopus balls are great.
What do you put on them?
I don't put anything on
No,
it.
just straight up. You know, by the way, little side note,
You
there
can have
was a
one.
show
Oops.
where they didn't untranslate takoyaki and they adapted them as octopus fritters. And I was like, oh, that's
I just like throwing
That's
octopus
super
balls.
yeah, yeah. well,
I
probably
super love
balls.
takoyaki. It's like more fried. It's like fried dough balls, but like little bits of tiny bits of.
Oh wow! I was gonna say like dumb Japan story.
so- yeah.
I don't know if I've told you know my taco story.
I brought-
Taco is Japanese for octopus.
Octopus.
Oh, yeah.
It is also Japanese for kite. It is also taco.
Like the flying?
Japan loves puns. It is a really good language for puns. They do
Yes.
puns all the time. Everything's
All
a
the
bloody
time.
pun. You have 3 alphabets. There's just so many ways. Like the different way what alphabet you use changes the definition of words. It's
Oh,
nuts.
some of the characters, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. And I used to live in this place. I lived in a town called Chiba, Nishichiba, which is kind of like, this is not going to mean anything to anybody except here, the Orange County of Tokyo. Yeah.
Oh no!
Okay.
It's
Okay.
where Disneyland, it's where Tokyo Disneyland is, and kind of where like, oh, it's kind of a college town, but like whatever. And
But everything closes at like 8 p.m.
everything.
Anybody?
And I had to go. As my landlord, like putting it, be gentle on your apartment. It's older than the country you come from, boy.
Were
Yeah.
you teaching English? Why were you in Chiba?
I was working for Joy Store. It was back when I was an toy import exporter. And I was
There's
working
so
for
many
Mossburger, which is a whole other story.
Mossburger!
Mossburger. I was working for the family that owned Mossburger briefly.
Those
Mossburger's
are so good.
so good.
So good. There used to be a Mossburger in Hawaii,
Yeah.
but then it's not there anymore.
I don't know why.
The last time I had Mossburger, it was in Taiwan.
They use rice instead of, it's a burger, but then they put like teriyaki sauce on it. But
No!
but it's in rice.
And it's in rice buns.
Yeah, it's not
The
buns.
rice
It's
bun
rice
ones, I've
balls.
heard of it.
Yeah,
And
Mossburger.
so good.
I
So good.
wasn't sure if you were objecting to
No.
that.
No.
So it's just like
I
a
like-
giant one of these, basically,
Yeah,
with like a.
I like
With a
the
hamburger
I like
patty.
the
Oh
hamburger
my
patties
God.
that have
Yeah.
like buns made of things that are not bread, like
It was
like
so-
ramen.
It is,
bread.
it is
Like,
the second. It is the
rice
second
patties.
biggest fast food chain in Japan, I believe. It's like one of the top 5. It's
Still
huge.
around.
Oh yeah,
right?
huge.
Oh, okay.
Mossburger. It's like an institution.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a
But it's
Yeah, we're
Mossburger,
gonna
which
have
is why we
to
don't
go
have them
there.
here. So I would have to go to the public baths because my apartment didn't have, it had one bathroom for all the apartments and then no shower, no tub, so you'd have to go to a public bath to bathe. And there was always this really drunk old Japanese man in the waiting room. They always had like a little plate of satsumas and a little coffee and beer machine that you can vend anything. We'd have a vending machine for beer, and a vending machine for cold or hot coffee.
Vending machine for panties.
That was outside.
Used
but
or
we-
new.
Used and new. And he would spend the entire day while he was so delighted. There was a kite with an octopus on it in the corner, and he thought it was so funny to explain to me.
Taco
that-
taco.
Taco. Literally, this dude would go like hours drunk, sitting like, oh, mate. Taco.
And you told me that yesterday.
That is Taco. And then eventually I got just enough Japanese to explain to him what a taco was. And then
That really blew his mind.
once he discovered that it was possible to have a taco, he was like, I feel like
Did you just blow his
he was
mind?
like, it was very much what have I been doing with my like.
You've introduced a new dimension to his
'Cause
reality.
He
Like,
was just his old. He was just taco. And yeah, and once he could do the triple taco, he was just like, I mean, like he
you
learned to
made
walk
his
again.
life.
It was really-
Yeah.
Zenith at that point.
I was well known in the community as the random long-haired blonde white boy.
You were that character in the anime.
I
Oh
was,
my God.
literally, little kids would run up to me and yell, "Goku, Goku, Goku!" Because we had a daycare next door, so every now and then they'd see me leaving, I'm like, "Oh."
That's amazing.
It was so much fun. I had like David Bowie labyrinth hair.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I love takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
But mochi is like the taste of winter for me because
I have a mochi maker.
You do
should
not.
come
What?
over and make some fresh mochi.
What?
Yes.
because every year my family does mochitsuki, and so which is where a mochi making party where one person pulls the steaming mochi out of the mochi maker and they pass it down the line in little bits. And then everybody has to form these perfect little mochi, and you scald your fingers, but you make these beautiful mochi, and you have a bunch of them at the end of the day. And I missed it this year. I missed it, so I didn't get fresh mochi. Can we please?
How do you
do
make
it?
mochi? How do you make mochi?
Well, okay, so the mochi maker that I have is it's basically it's like a rice cooker. You put the mochi it's I think it's like a half rice cooker, half washing machine. Yeah. So the first half is you put the rice in the water and it steams it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half is it just spins it, and then you check on it. Maybe you put a little more water in it until it's the consistency that you like, and then you pull it out and it's
This big
It's like
this
a big gummy.
glob. So you need potato flour or something so it doesn't completely stick to your hands. True story. Every year somebody dies from eating mochi.
What?
You know this?
No.
Like choked
Usually-
to death
yeah,
on mochi?
chokes
Oh my
it.
God.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like
It's-
2 or 3 people.
Because then
a
when
year.
it's fresh, it is big, long, stringy and stuff, and so it's hard to process.
What a
Yeah,
dangerous
I can
cuisine.
especially old people.
It's a dangerous.
Yes.
thing.
Mm.
Wow.
So
What?
yeah.
Because if you take it too big of a thing and it gets stuck in there and you can't breathe.
Oh, and then
I'm
it'll just harden like a
Just
terrible
harden.
wax plug. And, oh no.
But the thing is about when you make mochi
Cold.
is that you have to have a lot of people on hand because it starts hardening really fast.
yeah,
And so you
gotta
want
do
to
it fast.
Yeah, so you gotta when it comes out, there's one person that is in charge of putting it into little pieces, and then everybody else has to work fast and make them. Oh, I love so mochi was a big deal for me. I like it with nori and soy sauce.
So you like it salty mochi.
I like it salty mochi, but then sometimes I'll save some with the azuki bean, and it's really sweet.
Mhm.
My family, my mom's side likes it with kinako powder,
Yeah.
which is it's a soybean.
soybean powder.
Soybean powder, but it's really dry and kind of bitter. So they'll have it with soy sauce and kinako powder.
I actually put black sesame powder or almond powder.
That one's delicious too.
On it.
Do you ever make mochi ice cream?
I have not made it.
I've made mochi ice cream,
How-
and that
How
is
do you
great.
do that? How do
So-
you make it?
Because I know
That's
you
good.
You go about the mochi process, and I unfortunately did not have a machine, so I had to do it by hand with the 2 different.
So you had to pound
You
it.
hand
You had to
pounded
pound
mochi?
Oh yeah, and
Wow.
it took
Marcy's very
forever.
yeah, she's,
Yeah, you get intense with your kitchen kitchen.
I get intense
projects.
with whatever
when
project
Marcy
I'm
wants
on.
to craft something, she goes out of her way to just get it done, no matter what the steps are. So, I can absolutely imagine you slaving over mochi ice
You
cream,
can ask Sarah
bitterly
and
just
Eric.
getting it done.
Oh.
I did it when I was rooming with
Oh
them.
man.
And basically, you just buy gelato for the inside. I didn't make the inside because I was making the mochi, and that was far enough.
That's insane.
Um,
you got
so-
a partner with Mariana.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah,
Oh,
she
we've
has
been
nice.
talking with them.
Yeah.
She makes ice
actually.
cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Mariana Miller.
So basically, it's just the mochi. You put the ice cream inside as filling. You wrap it around like you would a dumpling, and then you just stick that thing in
Like
the
a soup
freezer.
dumpling, but
Yeah.
a mochi.
Oh.
Oh, wait, soup
We've
dumpling.
been
That one
making
place in
in my
Glendale.
house.
Have you? Did
Oh
you?
my
Did you
It's
go?
amazing. It's my favorite. The
Oh
soup,
my
the soup
God.
dumpling place in
love
Glendale.
soup.
Oh,
Din Tai Fung.
Ding
Din
Tai
Tai Fung.
Fung.
Yes.
That's the
It's
thing
the
is that
best.
dude,
live
if
next
you
to
go down to Monterey Park or what is that area Rosemead area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
San Gabriel.
Yeah, San Gabriel Valley. You can't throw a stone without hitting an amazing soup dumpling place. But up here in LA,
We've got,
our place is
two.
Din Tai Fung.
Yeah.
What's the
Or
other
on
one?
the, in Sawtell, there's a
ROC.
ROC,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Oh, okay.
another good place too.
Oh,
Thank
but
God
there was-
they
and that-
delivered to me.
There's that one near Idleland in oh man, in Sunland. Oh God, my life. I can't remember. This
But-
city is big, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
One thing too that I wanted to, I know some
Oh,
people
yeah,
in
bring
chat
it,
were calling
bring
it
it.
out. Is
Ramune.
Ramune. It is a soda that is roughly bubblegum flavored.
Ish.
What do we think?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
This makes so
So
much
it's like
sense.
the
It's a very
best-
old beverage.
The best part of it, though, is the opening process.
How
because
good, how good are you at
game.
opening this?
It's a real it's a real
like a
gamble.
game.
Yeah. So I
took me
got
years.
really good at it, but I gave up soda a while back. So it comes with this little bit on top. So you unwrap it and it has a little bit, and then you punch the little bit out to get
Okay, we're gonna
a
have
little
to.
to get a little
I'm gonna make you some
stopper or
room to
something.
do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, just in case.
Take some
So we want
forearm
to
strength
drink it
right
right
away.
close up on this.
Get some leverage.
Yeah.
Let's go.
These are. Thank you.
You don't put it on. Yeah, put it right there.
Like
Nice and
Critical
flat.
Role poster. So yeah, basically what it has is it has a little marble,
A glass
up
marble.
a little glass marble up top. So you see, you get the little thing, and there's a little glass marble on the top, and which prevents the liquid from escaping. The point of all this is to make the marble go down into this chamber here, without having the soda fizz over the top. Now I'm not sure how long this has been sitting has been in my bag, so we'll see how it goes.
Fingers
okay?
crossed.
We believe
All
this
right.
is gonna go.
There we
I
go.
believe in you.
So
You've
you
got
gotta have
that.
enough pressure
I
to,
believe in you.
okay, ready?
Wait. I'm getting towels ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Just in case.
Oh.
We're
Just
running for towels.
stick it in your mouth right after.
Woo!
Okay. Who would like some
Sometimes it
lemonade?
fizzes out.
So do you
Yeah,
know
and a
how
lot
to drink
sometimes
it?
it'll, yeah. So you like if you go upside down, the ball
Marble
will
blocks.
get stopped and the little
The two
little-
eyeballs.
Yeah. So you gotta
There's
kind
two
of
eyeballs, and they are there to catch the marble.
Yeah. So you gotta kind of like
Yeah.
here and actually
You
I
do
wanna
not
pour
you
it-
do
pour
not
it out.
drink like this. You drink like this.
Yes.
Oh my.
Because the two eyeballs
They will
right
catch
here,
them.
this will stop the marble from plugging up the water again. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, you'll do what I did for years and be like,
That's how I drink it now.
There's
My
nothing.
mind is blown. Holy.
nothing's happening. But if you do it with the eyeballs,
Ta-da!
you make an ungodly mess.
Then it all comes out.
And
Yeah.
it all comes out.
I have been
never.
drinking Ramune wrong my entire life.
Honestly, you've been
what-
drinking it.
I just
Like Lloyd described
You
a
just
second
seems like a creepy owl that was there to scare you, like I did, I assume.
I just thought that it was supposed to be annoying when you drink it because
Yeah.
it stops you from finishing it too
I
fast.
just thought this was an art choice, like a design choice of the bottle. I really did. I was like, I never figured it out. I was like,
Japan,
this is
Japan,
those life
Japan is a
things.
country of deep art and design,
What?
and
Oh, never mind,
everything
never
has
mind,
a
never
porpoise.
Yeah.
A porpoise.
A porpoise.
But a
things
fish.
things are always built aesthetically pleasingly and with an actual like
Wow.
sense to it, and it took me forever to figure out what that
And with
was.
a lot of extra
I had to
packaging.
wiki this stuff to figure out how to drink it.
My IQ just increased by 1.
I'm feeling very educated. this
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
This is
Scott Pilgrim has gained
wonderful.
the power
Yeah.
of Bermuda.
I'll never drink another one.
Yeah,
wrong in my life.
getting the marble out is really tricky, but it's really fun.
Yeah,
to
so
do.
you gotta figure out a way
Yeah,
to
you can sort of
pry
collect
off the
them.
plastic lid, and then you get a pretty glass marble and stuff. Or at the end, you like as at anime conventions, you just leave it in there and you rattle it around, and it makes this really annoying sound.
So this is. I know we've been very snack heavy, and we're going to continue to snack heavy, but this is on a certain level the basic nerddom that was like the early formation of the anime fandom it was very much a cultural fandom as well.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
People went deep.
See, I had access to all these things, but I didn't have any friends who knew how they really worked. So I learned, like, I was so entranced by you opening up the onigiri, and it's magic to me now because I had spent so many years being like, yes, white
So-
kid gonna do this, gonna be awesome.
Are we going to deal with the pudding, or are we going to ignore the pudding?
Where's the
for
pudding?
now?
Oh, we're gonna
Oh, no.
definitely do it. We gotta do
Let's
this
do
pudding.
pudding.
Dawson, you received this where, what, how?
Okay, a friend of mine named Riz, who will remain anonymous.
I love pudding.
Oh, you're gonna like
Thankfully,
these
this is pudding to share.
pudding.
Pudding.
Pudding to share.
Japan is odd, and occasionally they create products that are just, especially they'll occasionally create ridiculous novelty products. I'm not saying we're not capable of it as a culture, but Akihabara is a very specific neighborhood in Tokyo. Akihabara, there's actually a video game that a few of us worked on. Some will admit to it, some will not. Called Akihabara Trip.
Oh, yeah.
Akiba Strip.
I'll give it a
Yeah,
Strip.
who was on that? I don't know.
So we were playing that game
Oh yeah.
on a show that we
Please.
used to have here called So You Don't Have To, where we play quirky games so you don't have to. So we were playing it and we're like, what is this? This is insane. Like, this is
Oh no,
bonkers.
use the language you were using, please.
This is
please.
like we were like, this is dumb. I hate this because we had to like go through it, and it's like, and it's such a novelty game because the point is that you have to go into these battles, like Persona style battles. Only like you have to strip.
Okay,
Like,
no,
your
we
opponents?
need some background here. Vampires have invaded Akihabara, and they are vulnerable to sunlight.
And so you have to
you have to-
strip them.
You have to remove all their clothing except for their underwear so that they are exposed to the sun and then they burst into flame.
All of this sounds
Science.
completely
Why
logical.
can't you
Perfectly
expose
logical.
their genitals to the sunlight as well?
I don't know.
That's just
Censorship.
illusion.
Because
Very
Very
anime.
important.
Because anime.
There is an anime as well. There's
There's
different
a
characters and
sequel
stuff.
to it too.
Yeah.
And but like the mechanics of the game are so frustrating because you just keep getting into these battles and you have to strip people down and they're like, yeah,
And then you gain their clothing.
and you gain their clothing,
The
and we were
American-
just like,
yeah.
what is this game? This is terrible. We hate this. Like, we
the-
hate playing this. And then somebody's like, hey, did you know that Taliesin did the voice direction on this? We're like, oh. And
then
they're
what
like,
happened?
and then Taliesin showed up in the chat and said, I've been here the whole
Time.
time.
You know I can hear everything you say,
That's
right?
so creepy.
I can hear everything
That's
you say.
hysterical.
I'm stalking this chat so often people don't even know.
So yeah, just so you know, everybody, Taliesin could be watching chat even when he's not on
He's
the
on
channel
the
proper.
chat
He
right
could type
now.
right now from
Yeah.
like from the couch.
Yeah.
So sensitive, yeah.
So that was that, and we were like, this is a quirky little game.
It is a quirky little game.
quirky little
You guys
game.
got so nervous; it was so cute. But like the game, there was, I will say, like they did their best, bless them. And like there's like they actually added a bunch of like pretty boys in underwear going
They
for the
did.
American
They
ones, so
did.
like
That was
everyone
nice.
had a little
That was
fun.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Fair.
everybody
Fair.
gets to have a good time. And it's actually is a fun game to play. And they actually one of the really cool things about it is it's almost a perfect 3D environmental rendition of Akihabara. The neighborhood is actually been built in frightening detail, down to the correct stores that you can enter in. Like they're all there.
Yeah.
Akihabara though is also like a big part of like the kind of slightly pervy area of like the anime.
We like
Big
not
fur.
slightly.
So this is Akihabara Opai Pudding, which if you can.
Oh
Hi!
my! Boobies!
Real quickly.
Wait,
Real
do they look
quickly.
like boobies?
Hello, Karina's chat. Hello, Karina. Hello, everyone.
All right.
Friends are in the
Hello,
chat.
friends!
People
Thank
are
you for
rating.
joining us.
All right. Oh, hi Raiders. Yeah, you came just at the right moment. because-
Oh, bye. Oh,
so
bye.
this
oh,
is
bye,
a
sorry.
thing. Okay, so
Oh,
so
no.
I was given this, and I was like, what am I going to do with this? And then we decided to do this episode.
Oh no!
Oh, it's so voluptuous.
What's behind the bra, Taliesin?
I'm
Bra,
sure
I
it's very
just realized.
supportive.
Can you unravel that?
Do they
Or is that
have
is that allowed?
Does that have
Oh,
nipples?
oh,
Oh,
oh.
Censor.
No banning
Wow.
from Twitch
I don't know
today.
if I want to eat that.
But now you say that.
I would like some pudding.
I recall pudding
Get me
hype.
a spoon.
She is welcoming us home. I was informed she is welcoming us home and in a very formal manner, and then asking if we enjoyed the pudding. Oh dear. So with that, thank God I finally have a use for this because I was like, I
Okay,
can't.
what's this? Is this like
I
a
don't-
caramel or
Oh,
a
yeah,
caramel
no, it's the
spoon?
sauce.
Caramel
It's the caramel
and
spoon.
caramel sauce and spoons.
Wow.
So-
Would you like to split a pudding cup with me, Taliesin?
I don't understand why we
Sure.
don't
Is it
have
a
Oh,
B
it's,
cup, a
it's,
B
ra-
cup?
it's like this
You know?
doesn't. This
It
is
doesn't
a
stick
highly
together.
why can't I go to Ralph's and
Well,
get
there's
this?
because
I'm
there's
really
a thing
upset.
that's
Because of the
making it
nipple.
because of the
Because it's
nipple.
I
not.
love Japanese pudding.
Don't show the underside. We'll get it kicked off the air. Wow.
As we gently do not violate terms of service.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was
Again,
so
like,
excited
so
to have a
much-
reason to
so
finally
much
open and
fun.
eat this. Because if I did this at home
Do
by
you want the
myself,
other-
that would be really weird.
Let's
Here, Gigi.
Thank you.
Then
No,
we
it's
need
not a
the
thing
sauce.
anymore.
Okay, okay.
I mean, like,
oh, so
Separate entity.
it's technically now it's a Dalek bump.
Nah,
Alright, guys, we're gonna.
so if we show it now, it's okay.
I think as long as I yell exterminate while I put this on my chest, I'm probably fine. Exterminate!
Exterminate.
Exterminate! Okay, there we are.
Little did we know that was the beginning of the end.
It's a Dalek ethereal reader.
All right, so we have
pick
this
up
little
Zeta
packet of
beams and it's very
sauce.
Twitch
firm.
just starts calling
So,
right now.
open up. Oh, it is like one solid
Oh, wait.
piece.
Yeah.
It's jiggly.
This-
Oh wait!
Nice.
I think you're supposed to like dump it out upside down.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
boy.
okay.
Like flan.
Here we
It's
go.
like
Alright.
flan. So you gotta.
Come on, I know that you can do this.
Oh, squeeze that
Squeeze?
plate.
I don't need your help.
Pinch that opie. Do it, Erica.
Marcy, what have you done? The opie.
Marcy wins.
Oh, Marcy, you do that to innocent opie.
She just slapped it. She
You've
just,
over
like,
opie the opie. All right.
That was the most
just
you
slapped
thing
it
I think
down.
I've
She just, like,
The opie went
ran-
everywhere, Marcy.
It's okay if you get if you.
I thought it took some,
I was being
So
gentle.
you gotta-
and that did
you
not
You gotta
help
be
me.
gentle with the opie.
Hey, I got
Townsend,
I
no.
believe in you.
All right.
Up there.
You guys
we
get
just-
it right. There,
There's a
there.
dojo
Do
in
some
this
Jean like drizzle on the
Oh man.
There we
Oh.
go. Oh,
Don't make
that's
the
real-
drizzle
really-
look like a nipple.
I'm trying not to. It's hard.
There's no way not.
There's no way not to make this weird. Let's just accept that there's no way
It's
not
just
to.
sliding
all of
off
this
the
together.
thing.
It's equally
The sauce
awkward.
just slides off.
Oh my god.
Thank you, chat, for joining us for this madness.
When I woke up this morning, this is not what I thought. I'm gonna be honest
I'm
with
so
you.
glad.
You know,
Thank
to
you,
be
by the
honest
way.
with you, I'm not.
This, you were specifically were the person I wanted here to witness this event.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
Not
Enjoy some
going the
opie
way
pudding.
that I'd hoped it
I believe
would.
in you.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go. Ibudo is the best character in the show.
I know it's sauce on it, but it's.
Thank you, Miss Sunflower. What a journey.
This is a mess. I'm
can
making
do
a
it.
mess.
It's
You can
tasty.
do it, Marcy.
Isn't that the best?
I
Wow,
already did
chat is. I know chat's all about you right now.
right on.
It like sloughs off the skin.
You know, I will say,
Honey,
like
you
watching
gotta
this happen
put
is
a
making me
spoon
feel
to it.
so much better about all of my issues with pudding.
Oh, here is like a
Tiny-
I feel like
tiny spoon.
a
for
tiny,
you.
a tiny spoon.
yeah, break it up.
Okay.
Put it out of its misery.
Nothing
Right,
nothing
get
says like sexy
Then it won't
pudding
look
pudding
like-
boo more
Oh, sorry.
than an
This
ice
is
cream
really,
sample
like-
shovel.
It
So
is
this
a
is
little
like-
shovel.
Like caramel sauce, but it's very thick.
All right, I want to try this.
And the fact that
Yeah,
it slides
very
right off
delicious.
makes it completely
Yeah.
like what was the purpose?
Well, there's probably a secret Japanese way to do it that we
I
don't
know.
know.
It's a
Like with the
secret
ramune
Japanese-
and the
Should have
onigiri.
wikied it. Like that's how I discovered how to
Okay,
eat every
I'm gonna
Japanese.
try this.
Do it.
All right.
How
That
it?
is delicious.
What's the flavor?
It's like flan. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
flan.
The Japanese pudding cups are
Oh
so
my
good.
god!
I love
yeah.
them.
Do you want some
All right.
of this or?
We get.
I'm almost.
Oh my
I'm
God,
almost
that's
some of
delicious.
this?
Crap, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to try it?
That's
why I was-
Alright. Great.
Oh, yeah, try me.
Opie pudding.
Oh,
You know, 100%. I
Oh,
was
wow.
a little
I
disappointed.
did not
right?
use the spoon, Joe.
I'm-
Right,
I
used it.
am-
No.
I was a little disappointed
little
when we
shovel.
opened
Oh,
it
you
up
did.
that
You
the
know,
nipple
I-
didn't stay on top.
My
I
dog is
know,
really
I
good.
know.
I was like, oh.
Now that was like
Here,
a
puppy.
Barbie boob, but they don't have any.
look away, even though you're too young for this.
Look away, puppy.
Actually, my dog, I think, likes boys.
Oh, well,
Does he
goodness.
like boys?
Yeah, I think.
Aw.
Pretty good.
I feel you.
Oh, puppy, not for
Hi,
you.
darling.
Oh, God.
Oh,
It's more
this is
eggy
really-
than I anticipated.
no,
Yeah,
it's
it's
everything.
Everything I wanted it to be and more. So much that I'm actually
Your
gonna
new
go for tea
favorite.
real quick.
Okay, I got some weird nerd questions for y'all.
All right.
Okay.
Do you remember your first anime or first manga?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the very first anime, technically, I ever saw was a show in America called The Little Bits, and I
Oh
believe.
my god, wait, the little bits.
Yes.
Holy
It
shit.
was on-
Wait, it wasn't that wasn't anime,
Yes,
was
it was. Yeah, it was on Nick. I think it was Nick Jr. or PBS Kids. But
It was
in-
Nick Jr.
Yes, yeah. And this was like the ancient. I'm talking like ancient, like the Samurai Pizza Cats era of like
Samurai
that
Pizza
that
Cats.
that
That was-
part of Canada.
was, like,
that
right
Canada
before, like,
I'm an
has.
adult nerd by that point.
Yeah.
so
That was
yes,
like
I
right
remember.
before David the Gnome and all those
Yes,
like, other old
yes,
school
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Oh,
That's right.
David the Gnome.
So Nick Jr. had that, and there was another one. I cannot remember what it was called, but it was an anime like adaptation of a lot of like Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm talking about?
Fairy
Yeah.
Tales. It's
Yes.
Grimm's
The
Fairy
fairy
Tales
tales.
animated
Yes,
on
yes.
I
Nickelodeon.
used to check those out like before they aired. Like
Yeah.
they were in this like local weird video store in Pasadena.
The little
I
fairies at the
remember
beginning?
those.
Yes, yeah. And I think actually like the Power Ranger era, like Steve Kramer and a lot of those guys like wrote all those
Oh, yeah.
episodes and stuff.
It was a lot of the Streamline Kids.
Yeah. And so I remember seeing those couple shows, but the first time it was a show that I eventually knew was Japanese was Pokemon. When it was the mid 90 era of like when Pokemon and DBZ both hit at the same time and just suddenly like the world
Was
knew
it
what anime
when Pokemon hit U.S. airwaves, or when the whole like it's gives kids spasms.
No,
like-
because actually I didn't know about that until way later.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Porygon
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. But no, because it was when it was on syndication, like way before WB was like, we want that. It was just airing on at like 7 in the morning before school, like 5 days a week, like that first run of like 60 something episodes, and they were like, this isn't gonna go anywhere, whatever. Whoops, you know. But technically it was little bits. And years later, I looked it up, and I was like, that was an anime. That was technically the first anime I ever saw. And manga, I think it was Dragon Ball. And I was like, oh, that didn't happen on TV at the time. Oh, that's a boob. Oh, that's a curse. Oh, that's a poop. That's a poop. That's a person's arm getting ripped off. Oh, what have I been missing? So a lot of that, yeah.
Oh man.
That was the good stuff. Manga was the good stuff.
Yeah, it was. My first manga technically was Dragon Ball, but it was in Chinese.
Okay.
I think my uncle had as a present for me, having come back to China to visit, he bought me the entire available set of the manga in Chinese, and I couldn't read it. And because of that, I thought Dragon Ball was a Chinese show.
Oh.
For the longest time, I just thought Dragon Ball was a
it's
Chinese
also Monkey
IP.
Journey to the West.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
that's what
That
I also
makes
thought. I was like,
sense.
okay, cool. We came out with something cool.
Sayuki is a Chinese folktale, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then I had my reality shattering moment when I was like, oh, it's Japanese. That's fine. But my first anime that wasn't Dragon Ball, because that was on TV when we were all little.
Yeah.
It was Slayers.
Oh, okay.
So Slayers Next, Slayers Try.
Oh.
And this was around the time when I still didn't really recognize Dragon Ball and like Sailor Moon as like anime, because I was too little. I just thought they were cartoons, right? And anime to me was something more adult at the time because of Slayers. And so I went to my local video store and was like, oh, hey, do you guys have anime? And they're like,
Oh no.
and they're like, yeah, we do. And I knew the guy who worked there, and he took me to the adult section in the
no.
back.
What do they have?
My local Video Depot.
It was all
It was all
hentai?
hentai. It was the Love Blue Girl. It was like all this stuff, and he was like, yeah, anime.
Oh no.
And I was still young enough to be like, okay,
How old
this
were
is
you?
what
Yeah, I was
anime
about
was.
to say.
Were you
I
like,
was like-
way under?
No, I was like 11 at the time.
Oh
right?
my
So
God.
Oh, whoa.
This
But my
explains
friend
so
worked at the
much.
store. He was like, okay, well, anime's in here, so he showed me the anime. So I went to, for a couple years, I thought that the media I was consuming, the anime I was watching, was all porn, was all adult stuff. I'm like, Japan has some really well-written porn. There's almost no sex in Japanese porn, you guys. Like this, like people cast magic spells and stuff. This is the best. And it took. It took until like almost maybe halfway through middle school for someone to be like, that's not porn. Like,
FYI, though, Japanese porn is censored.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. Yeah. So yeah, for a good part of my childhood, I thought
There's-
anime was just
There's a
porn.
great book about it. Oh God, what's I'm blanking on her name. The wonderful woman that goes to convention.
Helen McCarthy?
Helen McCarthy. Thank you. I was like anime Mary Poppins. Helen McCarthy wrote a guide. She wrote several books. Two of her books are the anime encyclopedia, which is an amazing
I read
collection of
that.
times, years, and dates of like weird, obscure anime. If you want to look anything up and find out who worked on it. But she then wrote a guide to adult anime, to hentai, including a lot of really intense essays on like the history of animated porn and the history of like how censorship evolved in Japan, and like it's a really fascinating read.
It's not like don't like if you're trying to read it because you want to get titillated. That's
Yeah.
not that. It's like an academic.
The whole thing was written
writing.
by a tiny little British woman.
Yeah.
Writing about, I'm doing a terrible
What's
Helen
that?
McCarthy. No, she's a bit more in here, really. And just, yes, this is I was fascinated watching Urotsukidoshi for the first time. And I'm not. I've seen her lecture on this, and that's basically, it's weird. I love her so much. Oh God, that is. And then you.
Yes.
Here, do you wanna? I know it's not your first. But
It's
you can
not my first.
Fondle it while you.
Taliesin knows that Helsing is my favorite. So that question, if it's going to be asked, has already been answered. But my first anime and manga were the same. Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Were you a Sailor Moon
I
generation?
was absolutely a Sailor Moon girl. I guess technically, no. I don't know if it was Pokemon or Sailor Moon first, but I know Sailor Moon was the one I fell in love with first. And Sailor Moon was actually the anime that made me decide that I wanted to be an animator. And so did that, and
And then you found out it was a desk job.
then I found it was a desk job. But either
I know
way,
your pain.
I wanted to stay in animation, so I did. Yeah, I have a funny story though. When I was watching, and you have to understand, I was like around 7 years old.
Oh, no.
Watching Sailor Moon, and Sailor Moon, it has blonde hair, blue eyes. So I thought, because I'm 7 and don't understand anime yet, that they're drawing white people. Like these are all Americans. Because look at her with her blonde hair and blue eyes. I just didn't
Also,
know.
you'll be
Well,
forgiven
If
to
it
think
makes
that.
you
It's-
feel any better, some people still think that, and they are adults.
Yeah.
No? I thought that was just a me thing. I was like,
They
oh,
should-
I have
Hollywood.
greatly
They should
misunderstood
think that.
what
Ellen
this is.
McCarthy's book, which explains why all of this
Yeah.
is a thing. Which I like. Actually, if you ever want to read really good, like very cohesive breakdowns of the structures and some of the narrative tropes of anime, no one has done it like Helen has in English. Like
Huh.
she is as far as I
Absolutely.
know, the American authority at this point of like really well researched, well thought out thought on these subjects. And of course, the big reason why all the hair colors are different in anime is so that from distant shots you can tell who's who.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's a shorthand to make it easier to tell who's who when you have a low budget.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you notice, like they don't like get closer, because they just use the same image and they just make them do this when they're walking, so that they don't get like smaller or closer when they walk
Yeah, no.
far. Like there's all
the
these
same
like
hand.
it's all like shortcuts for production because it was cheaper that way.
22 minutes. You guys
no
lose
money.
There's no
every
money in
week.
anime,
Yeah,
guys.
it is.
You do
yeah.
well,
The
and there's
worst
less
job in
money.
all of Japan,
Run.
I wanna say. Like they actually
man.
rated like the 10 worst jobs in Japan, and Animator was like number 4.
Yeah, same with manga
They get
artists too. They are chained to their desks and
Oh,
they get
God.
paid
Terrible.
crap, and they have to push out like so many stories per like month and per week.
Every manga writer I've ever met just smokes so many cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm like crates. Like I met Monkey Punch once, and he's just crates of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And he was just
Well, especially
Wow.
if you're doing like Jump, like that's what 20-something pages every
Oh,
week,
God.
and then if you're doing a running like series, especially like a shonen or something that never stops, it's 22 minutes every week with the staff. I'm like, you just die. Sorry,
But
continue.
It's yeah. There's
that's
actually
fine.
somewhere there's a big wonderful essay about the whole like evolution of the art of the anime art style and how it's related to Tezuka. We
and
did
Disney.
we did a
and
bit of Tezuka
and
Disney on
Tezuka.
Wednesday Club.
Oh
at
my
one
god,
point.
yeah, because we did the anime episode, and we talked about Osamu Tezuka's influence on Disney and vice versa.
And like even like the 19th century art influence of the Admiral Perry fleet and like the artists that came with him,
Right.
and how it informed the cultural narrative of like what Americans look like and what white, because people were drawing. There was like a wonderful telephone game happening with like these people with blue eyes showed up on this beach, and like four runs in, and people were just drawing people with the whites of their eyes blue. Because it was just, and that was like all the posters was like, this is what's happening. And it was just people with blue whites.
That's amazing.
And
Like
anytime, like
Hokusai
yeah, and like
and
anytime you see an
Hokusai
American
illustrations.
character, they have these like slightly squared, which is this very like traditional Perry style. It's a whole it's deep.
Interesting.
Check out the
Very-
Wednesday Club.
Wednesday
Wednesday
Club.
Do it.
here on Geek and Sundry.
Before we pass this on,
Speaking of which.
you do have a couple of pictures, however,
Oh.
of your.
Is it?
Helsing cosplay?
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yes. Since we have this here, did you want to maybe share
Ah!
your cosplay pictures from middle school?
Oh, from middle school.
From
So I want
Oh
to
my
point out,
gosh,
as someone
man.
who worked very hard on Helsing for many years, I did apologize to your parents.
he has met my mother, and
And you're
yep, and
We
he,
can get a
he
close-up
has
cam
oh, that's right.
on,
Yes, you officiated my wedding.
yes, I did.
So you have met my father now too.
Yes, I have. I met him beforehand anyway, because we had lunch many years ago. Do you remember we went to that little place on Ventura with both your parents?
Oh, that's right.
I've known you so long.
No. Okay, so
Oh, boy.
this is not my first cosplay. This is my second cosplay and my second time at A-Kon.
Which Acon was? Oh, was this back when it was in Dallas, Fort Worth, or?
We were
God.
in some small hotel.
Okay.
It was not big yet.
Acons,
it was not
there's-
big yet.
Acons have had a storied and strange. Acon is a very weird con that has had an illustrious history.
Yeah. So
Oh man,
so
I'm so excited.
I realize I have pictures. My friend is in some of the pictures that I'm showing tonight. I better like warn her or
Just put a
I
finger
say,
over like that part of
Yeah,
the picture.
strategically.
So, I cosplayed as young Walter.
There you go.
Yeah.
From
we go.
Helsing
Oh, here,
when I was in middle school. I was
Yeah, look at that.
Look at you.
Wow.
with short hair. This is what I looked like with short
Oh.
hair.
Look at you!
And the piano wire in the mouth.
And the piano wire. It's because I had found the Dawn. I had found the manga The Dawn, which if you don't know what this is, really good black
so good.
male material
Oh my
for me,
God.
guys. There was a manga called The Dawn, which was a precursor to Helsing, and I found it, and I was like, no one else is gonna know who young Walter is, but I will.
So there's old Walter, like young Walter, and then like baby Walter, chibi Walter. Or, like,
There's
you know,
baby
tiny
Walter?
baby. There's a super young Walter.
Yes.
We had 3 different actors play Walter, or technically 2 actors and an actress play Walter. So which is this middle Walter? Or
Oh no, this is baby Walter.
Okay, so that's Jessica Stone Walter. Okay, yeah.
That's baby Walter.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Wait.
It's
Hold on. Okay,
beautiful.
I haven't seen the show yet. What is it? Do they become?
There's age issues. He changed.
Okay.
His age.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
3 different
Gotcha.
actors played him.
You should
through the
totally
remake.
Okay, I need to.
Thank
I
you
really
so much
do.
for sharing that with
That
us.
was
That
really
is
solid.
epic.
Has everybody here cosplayed?
Oh.
Well,
Once.
Here, raise your hand if you
Close your eye.
cosplayed. Raise your hand if you cosplayed. Wait, Ikudo included.
Oh, puppy.
These mid-cosplay.
Do you have more to share with the class?
I have a few
Taliesin?
more. I mean, like, and I have like a whole bunch of like ephemera
I,
from the olden days. I have like Nia under 7 postcards.
Oh my gosh.
ROD cheesecake. There's like I.
Oh my god, are these drawing boards?
Yeah,
Yeah,
pencil
pencil
boards.
boards,
Pencil
yeah.
boards, I remember those.
So
My
we used to
friends
have
always
teeny
had
tiny posters, and this was like one that you would get with a DVD of like a teeny tiny poster
So tiny.
that you would get. Here, I'll make your life easier. That you would get with.
The other side of that is very different.
Yeah, I know. One side would be sexy, the other side less so. And like this is like one of the other like little pencil boards. Here's a Helsing one that we had. Here's one I got from one of my favorite shows, Urusei Yatsura.
Awesome.
I was like going through the. Okay, let's see. Let's find something really embarrassing here.
Oh god, yes. Oh god, yes.
Oh no, where
Oh
was
god,
this?
yes.
Oh come on, you gotta show
Okay.
that
Oh,
one. Whatever.
People
So-
don't know what's going on.
So this is from Akon 6, or I want to say it's probably 1996, 98. I don't. So
Oh
this
my
is.
God, though, is that a JoJo?
Yeah, that's what a friend of mine is, JoJo.
Oh my
which,
god, that was.
Thankfully, I don't think he'll be on the internet. So this is me in my violinist of Hamelin costume.
Yeah!
As definitely a teenager. I also have a prom photo. I don't know. Should I show?
Oh
the
my
prom
god,
photo?
you have
Yes.
please! This is
Please
like
show the
Okay.
photo.
Taliesin, you guys.
So-
This is peak Taliesin.
Guys.
Okay.
You're so.
Guys.
Okay.
You're so. I just.
You're welcome. Okay.
I love you so much. Oh my
So
god.
I know that you're looking at this photo and going like, that's not that goth. That doesn't look that kid. Okay, here we go.
How did you obtain that?
I love you so much, Sal.
Any means necessary.
Wow.
I was going through the file today looking for old cosplay photos and went, oh no. And I found this is literally the flyer from my store from 1997, including bad Japanese typo.
And look, you're peeking right over it.
I know, going like, oh
Tell us in the
my
studio.
god.
no. Everything
That
goes-
is beautiful.
That-
So in the electric file, if you want to pull up, there's also a few other like terrible cosplay photos. Just feel free to go in whatever order you like.
The fancy one needs to be blown up.
So
into a
that's the
full-size
Hamlin.
portrait.
That's the
Oh,
proper
God.
Hamlin costume.
That's so great.
It's a terrible weird little show that I love, and there's a villain called Synthesizer. It's so ridiculous. That was in Japan. That's the Mandarake toy store
With the Necronomicon.
with my
T-shirt.
Necronomicon T-shirt and my long lost
That is
Ankh shirt.
So god.
That is okay. Who knows what this is?
That looks really familiar. What is
Look like a joker or a jester.
That's Toby from Unico and the Island of Magic.
that? Okay.
The
the
Unico,
unicorn.
the Sanrio unicorn movie, which
Unicorn.
is fucking great. Yeah, I have a Toby costume, motherfucker. And that
Oh
is
my
It's my girlfriend.
That's
Oh my God.
That's me in the toy store I used to work in, wearing the shirt from my first anime club called Yume Yume. And
Oh,
I'm
it's
just,
magic.
yeah, just knee deep.
That is incredible.
Magic
I
in
think
the
I want to see
forest.
some of your.
Oh,
terrible-
I don't know if that's necessary.
I feel like that's
I
completely
think
It's
it's
the
necessary.
Okay.
perfect time.
All right. I took Japanese dance for quite a few years.
Oh, yes.
And like this one, some photographer like photoshopped this. I wish I'd gone to this location, but yeah. So I did like this was the year
Oh.
that I did like the full big dance. It's like 8 minutes long with the dragon kimono and like the face. So let me tell you something about geisha Michael makeup. Step 1 is you take some beeswax in your hands and you smear it on your face until you have no pores. Step 2, if you have not plucked all your eyebrows off, you have to put wax on your eyebrows so that it is a smooth surface so you can redraw your eyebrows at a higher height to make you look very surprised. There are 4 layers of different kinds of makeup that you wear. Yeah, so you have to do you essentially like put contouring kinds of things and then you wash it out with a wash and then you put more contour things and you wash it out with a wash and then you put the little like details. It is so excruciating and I do not know how these women there's some women that do that every single day.
How long does it take you?
It takes for me it took 2 or 3 hours, I think. Because then also you have to have somebody help you with the final steps. So you have 2 people dress you, because there's no way you can dress yourself like that. And then somebody paints your hands and the back of your neck. It's like a wash that is it's a special kind of powder they mix in with water, so it's like a sort of a light sheer white because it's like very feminine to be light skinned. And so there's that. So how do you go to the bathroom, you ask? You really don't. You really don't. Or you have somebody help you with all the different layers, because there's multiple different layers of the kimono. And then also you can't really wash your hands since they have been whited up. It is a process, people.
And
It
you did
looks
this.
like a lot of clothing to
It's
wear.
great. It's a lot of
Are you
clothing
saying
to
we
wear.
shouldn't shake hands with geishas?
Don't
Okay.
don't
It's
do
not
and I
really a
don't know how.
handshaking culture.
Yeah, and so for that now I understand why.
Yeah,
that's
no.
fine.
And so what I was wearing a wig, so it clamps onto your head. But if you have long enough hair, you just have to get it. You have to get it done, and it is pulled and taut, and I don't know how they do that, and then still maintain this poise and dignity. It's incredible.
Oh,
Can
there we
you
go. There we
sweat
go.
in it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that was for when I did the dance, and there's the studio.
You look
photos.
amazing.
Yeah, you look
Thank
great.
you. But it's you have no pores, so your skin looks super good.
Does it make you break out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For a week, and you have to kind of scrape it off because it doesn't come off with water because it's
What's
beeswax.
wax? Yeah.
So there's that. So that is I've been
catheter.
doing that. Catheter.
Traditional
God, I wish
Japanese
that I had a catheter while I was doing
Geisha
Japanese
secret.
dance.
Bless you, chat. Bless you. Yeah.
So yeah, that was great. And there were other dances that I did that were a lot less hassle, just the regular kimono, or sometimes you got lucky in the yukata, which is a light summer
Yeah, the light
one. Or one time, which was really fun, I played a ronin, and so I got the boys with the pants, not the hakama pants, but the baggy trousers and stuff, and the straw hat and the sandals and the sword. That was my favorite year because I just kind of hopped into it and everything. So I did that growing up.
I love your
But
shirt.
I also did do a little bit of cosplay.
All right.
Oh.
So
Oh,
wow.
That's
Whole
what-
gang.
that was
Final
fun.
Fantasy VII.
So my friends and I got a group together for our. I think that was my first anime expo. I think in 05.
Wow.
04, something like that. And like all of our stuff was like none of us knew how to cosplay or sew, so they were all kind of like coupled together and like glued and
Man,
taped.
hot glue gun is your friend.
Hot glue gun is
For
your friend.
emergency
All the
costumes. Hot
Oh,
glue
yeah.
gun.
Yo,
So-
shout outs to my favorite Final Fantasy character in this group, Pirate Girl.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like she was like Ferris from Final Fantasy, like
Oh, that's
Oh my
actually
God.
Final Fantasy. Oh, I was
yeah,
joking.
Like
That
four?
was no 5.
Five.
Ferris was
Oh,
No,
wow,
but that's
okay.
the thing. That's the thing. Is like nobody knew who she was because she like had to pick the most obscure character.
I feel
that.
her.
I
But
feel
actually,
that.
The
Same,
one on
same.
the one on the far right is from Resident Evil. She's Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Oh,
from
yeah,
Resident
yeah.
Evil and stuff.
You know, like my Nava
Um,
costume, like even
but-
people are into their sets. They're like, who the fuck are you?
It's funny because this came out. This was before Advent Children, and I feel like I didn't see any other Final Fantasy.
This was
characters
before Advent Children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was working at the video store then. All right,
my
that's
God.
cool. I was working at Bonsai Anime.
Yeah. So that was my first anime expo, but like many years before.
Oh, there we go.
So many
Ah.
years.
Yeah.
This is like I was really.
Look at your
little.
bun head.
Yeah, it's a little dongo. See, I used to wear my hair like that, like normally, just around. And then so my mom made me like a little Sailor Moon costume because I really love Sailor Moon. That was the first one, the first anime that I remember falling in love with. And there were like lots of sort of nameless ones that I don't even remember that I saw before that. But I really fell in love with Sailor Moon, and that was one of the first things that like made Japanese culture cool at my school. Like that and Pokemon, because before that, like I was one of 2 Japanese kids in my entire school. And it was really difficult for me, but then anime got popular, and suddenly it was so cool, and people had all these questions.
You were LA based, right?
LA, yeah.
Like what neighborhood? I don't want to
Agora,
ask specific.
Agora.
Okay, Agora.
I lived in Agora.
'Cause, like-
so it's like the suburbs of LA.
No, but like there's weird little fiefdoms and like anime popped up in random places in LA, and then like Sailor Moon happened, and it was like
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. And
Suddenly
so
everybody
it
had an
really
anime
blew
club.
up. So there's that, and then. Oh my God! And then some of you saw the Alita costume that I had this year, made by Jesse Pridemore.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
Nice.
That was like a longtime dream of mine. But one of my earliest cosplays
Oh, bring
was,
it.
like my version
Wow.
of Metal Angel.
Relevance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very relevant.
But like
How
way
do you
old.
feel about that trailer, by the way?
You know what? Like
Eyes.
the eyes really are.
I
The
don't.
eyes
Present no
don't
controversy,
bother
KG.
me.
I'm gonna.
The eyes don't bother me.
I'm saying I kind of like. I also
you.
for reasons that I don't want to spoil. I like. She is supposed to look weird.
Yeah.
The eyes don't bother me.
So many people are like androids or are cyborgs in the manga.
I'm not talking about the android or cyborg thing. I'm talking about a thing I don't want to spoil at all on the internet.
I just my only thing is that I felt like for the trailer, like it didn't feel like her personality.
I'll say that.
I had more of that issue than her eyes.
Early days, but
well,
yeah,
in
I'll
the
agree with that.
start, she is pretty like just figuring out and wide-eyed and innocent, but then
Just
like
it seemed like there's too much of that.
yeah, I hope that
It
she's
might
a
have just
badass.
been in the
Maybe.
trailer. I'm hoping.
It looks. I don't know anything about Alita, but it looks
8
cool.
out of 10
Yeah.
times when I hope it
Just
turns out
time to grow.
okay, except for those 20% of the times I'm like, oh, I was hoping it was gonna be good. No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for the best for it. I really love it. It's a manga. I read the manga when I was
I have some
younger,
here,
and
too.
like my friends and I were really obsessed with it. We'd like make flan all the time because that's what the villain had, and I really loved her. Really connected with this character, and like my hair looked like kind of like this at the time, and so I was like, oh, this character has hair like mine.
Everybody wanted the rocket hammer.
Yeah, the Rocket Hammer. Oh my
All
god.
about the. I want
Did
to see
they
a rocket
not
hammer.
finish that anime?
They had an OVA, which was
But then
like,
they didn't finish the
didn't
story,
finish the
right?
story, no.
That's what I remember. I remember watching it and being like really liking
This
it,
is good.
and then being like,
Amazing.
"What happened?"
It was amazing. The OVA, so they had like I think it was only like 2 episodes or something, and it was just like left everything really open ended and combined a lot of the different arcs. But it was really beautiful original animation that they did, and a lot of people know it from that. So if you see her with like the blood on her
Oh,
cheeks,
Yeah,
man.
then that's
That was
from
so
that.
solid.
But if you have the silver, that's from the manga.
Yeah.
And so what happened was there was a 9-issue run of the manga, but they made him hurry it up and finish it, and so he didn't end it the way he wanted it to. And so when it was really popular, years after that, they let him go back and sort of do an alternate ending the way he wanted it to, and the whole series, like Battle Angel Alita Last Order, And I'm not. I don't love that one as much as I love the
No.
original one. But
You didn't grow
it's
up with it
still-
either. So
Yeah.
that's-
It's so great. So check out Battle Angel Alita definitely before the movie comes out, so you can get excited about the movie.
I want to ask something if you don't mind, because you were
Yeah,
talking about
uh-huh.
Alita. What did you guys all have like a character from an anime that you grew up with that you were like, I want to be you, or like I really connect with this person, like this is like my
That's a
new
great
idol or whatever.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, like not just cosplay because I cosplay.
No, just
a lot.
like a really cool character that you like super connected with, or just like really liked.
I gotta think about that.
Faye Valentine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Valentine,
Yeah.
Wait, let me ask: Japanese or English version? Because the characterizations are very different.
Oh, great.
Both are
Yeah.
good, I think, but the personalities are very different.
I feel like I loved the American dub of it. She's so like she's not delicate and stuff. Like she's like, you know, goes and picks fights and she eats dog food out of the can and she's like a jerk to Spike, but there's like something really sweet and innocent about her at the same time. I also really like the Japanese version as
She's
well.
more of a spoiled brat in Japanese.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Less of a like capable woman.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about the American one is that she's like really capable and cool and like sure she's sexy and kind of fan servicey, but she's like a woman.
Yeah.
Man. So
A woman, man.
Faye Valentine.
Woman.
Plus like everybody's outfits in that are just
So spectacular.
so good.
I remember I was like, I want to dub this show so bad. I'm gonna want to dub this show so bad. And I was like, oh, they're dubbing it. I'm like, it's gonna be terrible because like it's just there's no. And then I saw, I was like, oh man, it's so good.
I was
It's
like,
so good. I'm irritated how good it is.
It's from like what 15 years ago, and it's still that good.
It's
Like it's
amazing.
it's like
incredible.
one. It was like at that time there weren't that many good dubs.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like one
Rare.
of the few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it smacked everyone in the face. Like,
Yep.
holy crap.
I was so irritated with how good it was. It angered me on fundamental.
Angry to this day.
I was so I couldn't feel superior at all.
I mean, there was just so much like love that went into it, and I remember seeing the panel that they had at Anime Expo. That was the year that they did the Cowboy Bebop concert, and they had the panel with all the voice actors, and like Mary Elizabeth McGlynn was talking about how they just gave them so much time to work with, because
Yeah.
we all know, like when we're doing dubs, it's just you just kind of bang it out quick, and that's
Yeah.
it. And if it matches, like that's great.
was
But
a different
for
time.
Cowboy Bebop, they said like they just gave them all the time in the world, and they were like willing to like wait on things to make sure it felt right. And
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
it's just I
Sounds
remember
great.
watching
Yeah.
the dub and just falling in love with it. Yeah.
Like, this is a sad
Yeah.
Yeah,
sign.
it's very different now.
Yeah.
Nobody has
Halcyon
any time.
days.
We need 3 scripts
So
tomorrow.
great.
Similarly, and actually this also answers my own question too. I'm rewatching it for the billionth time. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Is that-
Yusuke Urameshi is still
Oh.
and part of it similarly is also because Justin Cook, who's like a pioneer of anime, like he wrote.
Ironically, never worked for Pioneer.
That was
Yeah,
look,
Funimation's,
Google that.
Funimation's Justin Cook.
Yes.
Hey, man.
Justin Cook, who directed, produced, I think co-wrote and starred in Yu Yu Hakusho, and that was a dub also made with love. Like I think he watched the whole thing
He's
twice.
I mean, he's one of the original Funimation guys, and like he went in and really they were handed a bunch of stuff and not really told what to do.
Yeah.
And the learning curve there was sharp, and he was one of the really
Yeah.
big reasons why that company had such a good sound.
Oh yeah, and like honestly, like Bebop, like again, still watching it again, I'm like this, it holds up extraordinarily well.
Yu's very
His
solid.
Yusuke is just like that's like the coolest person ever. He always has like a snarky, funny thing to say. Like I wish I were that cool. Like that was like my Alita Faye equivalent.
I worked with him on Beck, and it was so
Yeah.
much fun. He was so much fun.
I always wanted to hear him because of his character in Beck. Watch Beck, please, if you haven't. It's amazing. One of my favorite shows of all time.
Cool,
I always wanted to hear him sing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song because of his character.
He was in a
ridiculous.
band called Peace Trap Republic for years. They might,
Yeah.
he might. I don't know if they still play, but
I want that. Sorry, somebody else go.
I
What did you have?
That's a really good.
I figured out I identified with the character from Gekige no Kitaro. Kitaro was like a big.
Yeah.
It was like the Goth Kid show, the Goth Kid manga.
Like
anime.
a giant eyeball is one of the characters.
It's his dad. The giant eyeball
Yeah.
is his dad. The whole opening song kind of loosely translates to dead children don't have to go to school. Dead children don't have to clean their room. It's like all the cool things about being like a ghost boy and like being a dead boy living in a cemetery with your dad who's nothing but an eyeball anymore, and and all your cool ghost and demon friends who just hang out with you. And I was like, that's cool.
I want to be there.
That's classic Allison.
That's cool.
Chris, we didn't hear from you.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Your first anime.
I also wanna-
It's Christian now.
Christian.
That's
oh
true.
My gosh. I forget. I'm sorry. Now that you're a big, all-important writer man.
Wow.
Christian.
Along with a marvelous collection of ties as well.
Oh, yes,
really
right.
digging. I'm really digging the tie.
I do my best. There's a little Vader on it today. I don't know. I
Very
was feeling the dark
subtle
side.
Vader.
Yeah.
Subtle Vader.
First anime that I ever saw was my family was on vacation with one of our family friends, and they had a bunch of kids who were about my age, and they would always drop us together for babysitting while they went off to like drink and be adults and do that sort of thing. And I remember they were so excited to show me this thing that they just discovered like a week ago, and it was like midnight-ish or something, so like right about Toonami time. And
Oh man.
I walked right on in as Goku screamed Kaioken times 10, and this was the coolest thing that I had ever seen in my entire life. Like, the hair went up, and everything was red, and then he fought, and he was awesome, and he had energy blasts, and I lost my mind. It was the best thing. And then my entire life started to revolve around like, okay, we're gonna wake up at 6:30 so we can catch Pokemon at 7.
Yep.
As soon as we get back from school, all the homework so that we can do Sailor Moon, followed by DBZ, followed by Gundam Wing, followed by Tenchi Muyo.
Yeah.
There was a plan.
Absolutely.
That's a solid lineup.
That's
right,
right. That's right. The
Yeah.
golden days.
Oh, yeah.
We there used to be a huge like battle at my babysitter's for the remote because like Robotech and Voltron were on around the same time as like Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
so,
my
so
God.
like half of the group wanted to watch the anime stuff and the other half wanted to watch the American cartoons. And the rule in the TV room was whoever was already in there had control.
Oh my
right?
God.
So then people just started showing up like earlier and earlier and
Camping
earlier.
out. Oh my
Trying
God.
to, like,
Yeah, right. That's how you get eye
The
stabbings.
creep.
yeah.
Ooh.
That's how you get eye stabbings, man.
Ooh.
Ninja
That was
Turtle-
a year.
Ninja
That was a
Turtles
year.
versus
Yeah.
Voltron. That's such a concept. That's so that today that could be a thing now.
Pen Pending. Pen
Pretty sure
Pending.
the
Holy crap.
Voltron would
Yeah.
win.
Well, there's
Because they're probably all on streaming services, so you're all good.
Yep.
You don't have to wait.
You guys have it so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I remember having to go down and buying the VHS for
I still have
anything.
Dude,
Yeah,
do you guys remember the pink VHSs of Sailor Moon?
Yes!
Where you got like
I have a few.
3 episodes,
Three episodes.
on each one?
That was,
Yes.
That was the way it was.
Yes.
And it cost like $20.
Yeah.
20
So
bucks. 20 bucks for the
expensive.
dub. 30 for the subtitle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Uranus and Neptune were cousins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Friendly
Not anymore,
cousins.
thank God. So.
Yeah, that was. That was
Oh
a
man.
Yes,
So
it
you
was.
can get like an entire season now with both sub and dub for like $40, $50 bucks.
For like $50.
thing. I've got some like
Yeah,
like,
but-
And now they're
Shades.
lesbians, as they should be.
Like,
So
yeah,
they're-
no, I've got
Right,
like.
you got some.
I've got some, like,
you got
this
some
is-
DVDs.
I got I mean like this is like the old ROD like this was like an intense amount of episodes. This was 5 episodes. Which
5
was unheard
episodes.
of.
That was
Unheard of. That
God,
was so
yeah,
much
I remember
anime.
the
The
Full Metal
extra
Alchemist ones where it was like you got.
this was probably what
for-
$29.99 probably.
That was
right?
like $29.99, and that was back in like when did we make that? When did we make this show?
Don't say that.
I know.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
It was a long. Suffice to say that there were small children that were young enough to be the voices of Peanuts characters in this who are now married.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went to one of their weddings.
You went to one of those?
I went to Megan's wedding.
Aww.
Dude.
That weirds me out so much.
Remember,
She was
I
this big.
miss kids being in anime.
They
also,
still do. I'm
sometimes.
She does it on
I,
Monday.
yeah, you know what? That's true. You are a champion of that. and I do
She's
appreciate that.
she's carrying the torch for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No.
He's getting a little antsy, so
Oh,
I'm
poor
just.
Oh.
I think because my
no.
lap is not big enough for him, so it's not.
A lap is not enough.
He's like
He wants back in his Pokeball.
he's like shifting around. So.
He wants to evolve.
Oh my
gotta
god!
get him
I
a
just
Thunderstone.
remembered like I think I was in college or high school or something. Like I was young when Trigun, the Trigun DVDs came out.
Yes.
And I remember a friend gave them to me to like binge through. So I was watching it, and it must have been like 4 in the morning when I got to a a major character death. Can I spoiler? Is there a statute of limitations?
I think it's been enough time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
somebody who watched our
I was
Close your ears.
absolutely in love with Wolfwood. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
had such a
Everyone
crush.
was in love with
He
Wolfwood.
spilled that same like
Yeah, every single person was in love with Wolfwood.
Spike Spiegel like niche of like sort of the tortured hero, and like so I was so in love with him, and he dies in an episode, and it was like 4 a.m, and I was like, no! And so I
very
called
traumatic.
up my friend, but she, we're young,
was
and so
sleeping?
she was living at her parents' house,
Wow.
and so her dad and mom were sleeping, but they weren't when I called up and said, he's dead! He's dead!
Oh my God.
I need to talk to Alex. And then they put her on the phone, and she's like, what's going on? He's dead! He's dead! Oh my God, why would you do this to me? What's going on? Wolfwood's dead! Good night, Erica.
Oh my God, you are the
shout out,
living
public,
version. Oh.
public apology to Alex.
You are the living version of, are your book characters having trouble?
I know.
One of your book characters having trouble.
I was the
Oh.
worst.
Wolfwood was that man. I bought those were like the McFarlane action figure. Who did
They
the
did
Wolfwood?
the McFarlane
Oh, yeah,
action
yeah.
figures.
Where he
Yeah,
was
they
just
did a
with his
Wolfwood
little
with
cross
the
on
cross.
the cross gun.
And they did a Vash, and he had like his bag and
I
everything.
can probably. It's been long enough.
They're
Yeah. I got commissioned to write a treatment of a live action Trigun movie.
Okay.
I get commissioned for a lot of weird stuff in your life. And like we made Wolfwood so cool. We made him like a traveling carnival barker, like a traveling like the traveling priest that goes with the carnival that does like the hellfire and damnation talk. He was just like a drunk crummy guy, and then like had a stash of weapons underneath his little. It was good. He was just the worst person.
Wolfwood still, like to this day, has the coolest
make it.
weapon, like
Oh,
of
that
any
big-
anime
oh, yeah.
character
Yeah.
ever.
I found like instructions on the internet. They're long gone now of like how to make that gun out of printable cardboard pieces that you like could trace.
It's a lot of
the
cardboard.
layers and layers and layers to like actually build the whole 3D.
Oh, the whole.
The full size and it would print like large format print and then trace out on cardboard and then like 4 layers of this, 2 layers of this to actually make the giant cross
Kill
gun
for one.
and
That
like
sounds so good.
unfoldable. And I didn't have the mental or emotional stamina to stamina. There you go.
Stamina.
For the internet to do it.
That word again.
Yeah.
Liz.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which was?
Nazca.
Not Nazca. Nazca.
Nazca.
Blades of Fate.
My God.
Yes. Yes.
That was a pioneer release. There were some weird ass people who were in that dub.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say interested in that.
Oh
but
man,
yeah.
no, that was a very weird dub. There's like some random people in that dub.
Yeah.
Wow.
My cousin brought it over when we were like in middle school on VHS, and I had
Reincarnated
never watched
Peruvian
anime
royalty.
before, and we just binged through it in like 3 nights when she stayed with me for a
That
weekend.
was such a weird
On a
show.
pull-out couch, we just sat there until we'd fall asleep every night.
The only real claim to fame of that weird it was Peruvian. It was
an interesting.
it was the reincarnation of Huáscar and Atahualpa, the Peruvian Aztec kings that still fighting, but now they were basically fighting as anime characters as opposed to just
Oh my gosh.
Peruvian
Yeah,
royalty.
their souls had inhabited beings
Japanese
in the present,
schoolboys and
it was definitely a bizarre story.
And,
We're
like,
all of a sudden
the
best friends
outfits
became
were
like
so
complete
weird.
enemies and everything.
It was really fun. It was really weird, and then its big claim to fame is little snippets of that show ended up being used in the opening of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yep.
What?
That's
What?
right. That's
That's
right.
It was the dude with the
I
purple
remember.
hair.
Purple hair.
Oh my
who was,
God.
oh my
Oh my
god! I'm
God.
trying to remember who voiced him. I'm so embarrassed.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Wow. And Bryan Cranston used to dub anime.
Yes,
Full
Bryan
circle.
Cranston.
Hey!
Yeah.
Brian,
Life
Brian,
is
Brian
weird.
Cranston was
Oh my
in
God.
Macross Plus. He was
Yeah.
so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Gold Bowman. He was Rogo Bowman in
And I think
Macross
wasn't
Plus.
he in one of the 8,000 versions of Gatchaman or something? I think.
Probably,
Yeah.
there was some-
Like-
There was enough
That's
Gatchaman
amazing.
versions. I think everybody's been. in
yeah.
one
Yeah.
of those.
Wait. So we sort of talked about everyone's like beginner favorite animes. Do we all have a favorite show now that we can maybe tell people
Like
to go
new
watch?
things or
Watch
old?
Yeah, like a current thing that you're like, oh, that was really good.
I don't watch as much as I.
I only watch what I work on now. It's
Yeah.
so sad.
Let me think. Actually, you know what? There's some stuff being released by Discotech that I'm really excited about. Some old school stuff from Discotech that I will I will say. My favorite animated movie ever is just getting released, which is Urusei Yatsura, the second movie, Beautiful Dreamer. Urusei Yatsura 2, Beautiful Dreamer is getting a DVD or like a Blu-ray release, and I am tickled pink. That and the Unico movies finally got released also, which I'm really like a lot of old school stuff is getting, and I'm really into the old school stuff.
Yeah.
So I am on that My Hero Academia train.
Yeah.
Oh, good train.
Good
It's a
Yes,
good train.
I
Absolutely.
really love it. It's just really great. It's like X-Men if it was happier and and they were all in high school. It's like X-Men Evolutions.
Yeah.
X-Men
Yeah.
is like X-Men Evolutions.
I'm
the
personally
anime.
waiting for the entire cast of that show, the characters, to realize that the Gravity Girl has a touch of death. Like, I don't feel like anyone realizes it yet, but she can kill anyone by just touching them.
Yeah.
Why?
No
Because
one.
they
She
They'll
has
just keep floating off
She has
into
the power to
space.
take
Yes.
gravity away from
away
someone.
from
Yeah.
him.
So she just goes.
Seems like a pretty
You
hardcore
fly
band.
off into space.
And
That's
you're
it.
like,
It's true,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Like, she's
pretty
the
much
most powerful
right.
character, and no one knows.
Yeah.
Like,
Every,
Wait a
everyone
minute.
acts like she's like a mid-level character.
Wait,
I'm
I
like,
have a
Chat
question
Yeah.
just
about
figured out.
that.
Also, Stephanie was one of the writers in Romeo X Juliet, Poor Dear. I made you write some of those.
Yeah, not that many.
Yo,
I
that
like
show
I
was
like that
You were-
show.
yeah,
amazing.
you
That
did
show
some
was
good stuff
awesome.
in that
That show
show.
was super good.
But okay,
That's why I
wait.
first
If she
stopped reading
takes
them.
away gravity, then that means you can't even weigh yourself down, right?
no, she can just.
No.
Like, she can. No, you can't weigh yourself down because she can take anything that weighs anything.
Wait,
and
would
just
she
go.
have to touch the other things?
She would have to touch
She
it.
has
to
Yeah,
make
she has to,
contact.
like, grab it
Right.
first.
So like if she touched you and no gravity, but then afterwards you grab something heavy, it could weigh you down.
It
if
could, but then
if
she just touches that.
If she touches that, then
gone.
Then you're gone.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that film that came out like a couple years back about where the people had the different gravities?
Hatema
Inverted.
Inverted.
That
Yeah.
was so good. That was so beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
story of her
We did
powers
that.
run amok.
Yeah. I worked on that. Yeah. I directed
That was
it.
the apocalypse
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
she
yeah.
realized.
Yeah.
And someone in the chat is correct.
Oh.
The greatest show currently is Food Wars.
Wars.
Also,
It-
I just started the Ancient Magus' Bride.
It's
Yes.
really good.
Like,
Yeah.
It's really good.
Ticks all these like boxes for me of like magic and like a weird mysterious patron with like a skull mask.
That's a really specific
A shiny
box.
black dog.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel those
always
boxes.
wanted a
I feel
picture
those
with a
boxes
skull mask.
100%.
Towson, bat me up here.
Oh no, I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah,
I
that
saw
one
some love
has
for
some
sports anime in here. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Slam dunk.
High key for life.
Oh man.
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
best
yeah.
friends. They're all friends. That's really what I want.
No,
I
the
still argue Yu-Gi-Oh counts as a sports anime.
I will give
Yes.
you that 100%.
iteration
It's-
6. I
Yeah,
think we're on now.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a sports
And then
anime.
what's the one that?
Technically, Gunbuster is a sports anime, in my opinion.
I don't think I've ever seen Food Wars.
Gunbuster is a Gunbuster. Oh, you never think. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Gunbuster. No, this is exciting. Gunbuster was a Gainax show from back in the day, which was a giant robot show in the style of a sports anime. So like the main character, in order to learn how to pilot her robot, had to like do laps with like the coach in her robot, like dragging tires to like somehow make the robot stronger or something. And it was Gainax. And there's actually that actually brings up a show that everyone should see, which is Otaku no Video. So I'm very curious if that's aged well or not.
Otaku no Video.
Do you remember? You remember?
I've only seen clips of it. I haven't actually seen Otaku.
It is an
Video.
animated fake history of the origins of Gainax and of it's an animated story about an ordinary high school boy who is indoctrinated into an anime club and how his whole life changes and the very meaning of his life changes.
Is Evangelion in it? Did they explain?
wow.
No, it's
why?
before Eva.
Before.
Wow.
Oh wow.
They
Okay.
made it years ago,
Okay.
and it's like he like joins the club, and he's like, now I've got to make my own doujinshi comics and sell them at the market, and our own model kits, and we're gonna start bootlegging model kits as a group.
And there's a shot in Furikuri where Haruko comes like riding on like kind of like air surfing in a bunny outfit, and that's
Yeah.
homage to Otaku no Video.
Oh,
They
okay.
make a fake character who's like a very sexy pink-haired girl in like half a costume with two lion sidekicks. Oh my god, can I do this? Posse King and Nega King. Oh
Ooh.
god.
There you go. That's some otakuness right there.
And like the anime, no, but like the anime is cross-cut with interviews of real otaku with like their faces blurred out and like really is like kind of like sad. It's so weird.
Wow.
It's a great, strange little video.
That's awesome.
Hi, Poppy.
Other current stuff, that new Card Captors series just started. I'm watching that. It's very, very beautiful.
I'm
It's this
so
little-
excited.
Yeah.
That was
Is
another one that I
Caitlin's on that.
remember.
Yeah, she's doing
was-
that, and she's got
Yeah.
Monica and Jason reprising from Tsubasa.
From Tsubasa. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what character I did in Tsubasa. I was like one of
Cool
the,
tall guy. Whose
yeah, with
name
the
I forget.
goggles.
Yeah,
the
I
guy
forget
in the
his
goggles with the electric eel.
from some
was
other
on.
clamp show I haven't
Yeah,
seen
Some
before.
that
from
was
some other
yeah.
clamp show.
Clamp was huge, like right around
Oh,
the same time
Yeah.
as Sailor Moon.
Yep,
Like
yep.
my mom made my little sister like one of the Sakura's outfits, one of the many ones,
Yeah.
and we had like the like a replica of the scepter she had,
Yeah.
and like a little backpack with wings.
And her little tarot card.
Yeah,
The only
we
thing
had the
I've seen-
tarot card.
Yeah,
deck.
gotta have the tarot cards.
Yeah.
The only thing I've seen from Clamp, I think, is Chobits, and that freaked me out.
No, you need
this
X.
Yes,
You
X.
gotta find
Yes.
X.
I thought I was the only
Oh.
person who had
No,
ever read that.
no.
Clamp was big.
I have the first DVD.
Oh yeah, I guess
I
that's what we're
have
doing
the
when we go
first-
home.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's and like, do you have the movie or the TV series?
TV series.
They're better, but like not as pretty, but better. Yeah, it's so good.
Oh.
And God, the costumes from that show are so good. Everyone is
Wait,
so
what's
well
Chobits
dressed.
Clamp?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Chobits was
What was the other Clamp show? There was Ray Earth. And
Ray
Yeah,
Earth.
Rare. An old
and
school
Wonderland.
one. That was-
Yeah, Mika-chan was
Suck.
that.
Card Captors.
Holic was later.
Yeah,
XXX Holic.
Holic.
Yeah, yeah.
Ray Earth was basically people who like wanted like something that was like a weird hybrid of Sailor Moon and Fushigi Yugi with way less characters.
Yeah.
Yugi.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I will
that
say-
brings me back.
And I will say, if you guys haven't seen
Thank
it
you.
yet, aside from Food Wars, which is the greatest animated Marvel we've ever encountered as a human species.
Do I have to watch Food Wars?
Yes,
Yeah.
You
yes.
do have to watch Food Wars.
It is the best show ever made, not just in anime, but it's the best show.
It is the best show.
I'll fight anyone. Aside from Food
With
Wars,
food.
though.
With food.
Yeah. Aside from Food Wars, Yuri on Ice.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
That was
Marcus on the
thunderous.
boards,
Has been an
very
amazing
enthusiastic
show.
about tonight.
Amazing.
And even bigger for just its impact.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know,
Yes.
What a well-written
uh,
show.
Yeah,
what a,
for sure.
Like it has so much heart and it has so much like love in it. It's just I haven't seen anything better legitimately in many years. Yeah.
I'm fully biased because I'm in it, but Mob Psycho 100 I think was kind
biased,
of a sleeper.
no.
No, I am.
No, it's a good
But no,
show,
and
yeah.
I think it's super underrated. It was very much in the shadow of One
It's
Punch.
really funny.
Same
It's
creator.
really funny.
But I love that show. I hope there's more of it at some point, not just because of the
I
paycheck,
love the
just because I
notion
love
of
it.
One Punch so much. It's just such a.
Did you see One Punch?
I've seen a little bit of it.
It's so
I,
funny.
I'm okay. I'm actually curious, just because I somewhat know of your taste being
Yeah.
more obscure. I'm curious if you would like Mob or One Punch more.
I'm
than
curious.
The other.
I'm always like I always come from a place of I'm a deep believer in like I think at some point I'm gonna end in Latin. It's subscribed to my tombstone will be fuck irony. So like yeah, like I'm like the whole notion of One Punch of just like is really fascinating to me. I'm like it's
A
a
level 99 character in a
Yeah.
level 1 world.
Yeah, yeah. That's
level
what it
9
is.
character
That's a
level
great way to
one.
put it.
Yeah, it's such a. I would love to play a video game based on him.
What would the gameplay even be?
Be like Kid
I
Ichi
win.
Radical Ninja. You just walk around and go.
Yeah, you just play anything with the Game Shark. Just plugged in. And you just
It
win.
is just it's Game Shark the game.
Yeah.
That has to be like
What's
a Telltale
Game Shark
series.
goes to chat right now.
All about like deep choices that really
Yeah.
mean nothing because
Hurts,
you can just
doesn't
punch everybody.
Oh my god.
Such a great show.
Yeah, I like. We have a few minutes left, and I'm like I love some of the things. So like yeah, I like what stuff that you worked on or that you is very dear to your heart. You know, not necessarily you worked on, but like if you were gonna tell chat to like check something out.
Oh man. You know what? Actually, just because it kind of passed, but I really liked it. Napping Princess. That was a fun film.
What's the dealio, yo?
It's
Whoa!
well,
Oh,
sweetie. Ipudo is going in action. He's going to town. Ready? Here you
Done.
go.
He's like, I got
was our
4
shit.
minutes left. I'm out.
It's like-
Oh.
oh,
Come here. Apes.
he's having a
Oh,
he's having a
he
good
wants
time
to-
down there.
Oh,
Oh,
come here, come here.
Ipudo.
He's like,
He's like,
"Come
I'm
in, can I
done.
let you out?"
Oh, you can if you want to peace out a little early, you can.
No, it's
Okay.
Napping Princess, really pretty movie. Kind of like Your Name in that, like, I don't want to spoil stuff by giving
Yeah.
away too much premise things, but there's like dream worlds and alternate realities, and like everybody has like a separate universe version of themselves that's like more exaggerated, and then the real life part. It's cool. It was really cool. And Brina is in it, is the main girl. She's brilliant because she's Brina.
She had talent. That was, yeah.
It's just because it was obscure. Because like your
Brina's
name,
amazing. No.
your name is like deservedly like the big anime movie of like the everything. With like Napping Princess was another one that I
Napping
really
Princess
liked
is
a lot.
great.
Yeah,
Alright.
I liked it.
Katie.
A couple shows I really enjoy watching. I recommend any of the Fate series. Before I even got into voiceover, I was a huge Fate Stay Night fan. I play the visual novel, for God's sakes, and it gets a little dark and weird, but like especially if you watch the new stuff by UFO Table, it's so beautifully
their stuff
animated.
is
Like you can
incredible,
see the
yeah.
specks of dust in the sky. It's just a really great treat for your eyes. And something else, if you on the other side, if you want to turn your brain off and just watch for pure goody like CG goodness, there's a movie on, I think it's still on Netflix, called Gaunt's O. And it's if you've ever seen any of the Gaunt's anime, you'll be familiar with the plot. But it looks like at least a several dozen $1 million movie. That's what it looks like, right? It's the animation on this thing is crazy. It's a huge action movie, lasers, monsters, crazy people in PVC suits. So, if you like BDSM and monsters, you'll really like Gaunt's
I
O.
like both of these.
Yeah, it's
Very
perfect.
nice.
I also voiced the lead guy in it. So she's
Nice.
What about you, Marcy?
Marcy.
I've been watching a ton of anime the past couple of weeks, especially. Partially for homework, partially for fun. And as I'm thinking of all these names, they're all going out of my head.
I love when that.
The assassin one you really like. The one with the 12 assassins. Which one is
Oh,
that?
there is an anime out.
Based on the Zodiac. Do you guys know the Zodiac Animal Assassin show?
All I can think of Saint Seiya, and I know it ain't that.
Okay.
There's a really good anime out right now, part 3D animation, 2D animation, and it's basically all these different assassins.
Judy Tyson?
Yes, that's it.
there
That's
we
it.
go, okay.
That's a fun
What?
show.
I didn't know you were
Monster,
an
man.
anime fan.
We're in a goddamn chopper shirt, for goodness
And
sake.
you also really like that witch
Eddie!
You don't know what the witch one's called.
Thing.
one.
I
Okay.
could be a, yeah, I could
Fake
be a
fanboy.
Which of
Got that free in a loot crate.
Like is.
Go, Christian.
Oh, stuff that I've worked on that is less known. Gundam Thunderbolt is so
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yes.
It's
Need
so
to see it,
dark
yeah.
and moody and different than all the other Gundams, and it gets so deep into like what it must really be like to be inside a war. Please go watch both Gundam Thunderbolt and Bandit Flower, which I think is out.
Yeah, it's a December Sky is the first
December
one,
Sky
and then
and Bandit
Bandit
Flower.
Flower is the next one. It's my favorite Gundam.
All right.
So
cool.
You're deep in Gundam.
I think like the most recently my favorite things have been to work on have been like like Your Name obviously, but I don't need to plug that because that's like being plugged by itself. But the thing that I really enjoyed was A Silent Voice,
Yeah.
which unfortunately you can't get it in the States.
No,
It's-
there's screenings.
There's
Yeah,
screenings
yeah.
in theaters, limited.
Yeah.
So I think you go on the 11 Arts website, you can look that up. But in terms of like a Blu-ray or something, nobody's announced that they have it for the United States. So you can import it from the UK or Australia, I guess.
We've been talking about it for a while. I'm looking forward to.
I
checking
want
it
to
out.
see
Yeah,
that movie.
it's
Yeah.
about bullying and it's also about the deaf community. One of the main characters is deaf, and we hired a deaf actress to voice her. So that was
Awesome.
interesting, and I learned a lot about the deaf community. I just think it's a really important film. And then the movie that we took to Sundance, Lou Over the Wall, is just the cutest thing ever. I saw somebody post about Devilman Crybaby, and it's
Oh
the
my
same.
God.
I need to check that out.
It's
yeah.
the same director.
Oh, really?
But Lou
It's a
is like
crazy show.
is a kid's movie.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Ramsey
he's
did that.
just so creative and amazing. Like, and there's singing in it. I have to sing. Christine Marie Capanos has to sing.
Oh, nice.
Michael Ciminier Nicholas is singing. Like,
Wow.
This is always my two old ones that I always push are already the TV and Nia Under 7. They're findable if you dig around. Nia, I was really young and was like it's a very iffy, sketchy dub that I'm very proud of. And ROD, I was very young and it's me working as hard as I possibly can to make something really great. And there's other people who are amazing too. And it's something it's one of the dubs I'm most proud of that I've ever gotten to work on that people have not seen. And there's also an OVA that comes before it that I did a little bit of work on, but it was Amanda Wynn Lee who directed it, called Read or Die, and this is already the TV. That's my big one.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm in something that my episodes haven't come out yet, and I'm like so excited to talk about it. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know
I know.
what it is.
Yeah.
But I can't talk about it yet. But I've actually been running through the Crunchyroll Anime Awards are happening.
Oh.
They're doing an award show, and I was looking through like the list of like what should I look at, and like looking at a lot of the anime on there that are nominated for some of the categories, and like there's just been like My Hero Academia is really great, and Little Witch Academia is also like really great.
That's so fun.
And as I said, Ancient Magus' Bride just ticks so many of those boxes.
It's really good.
And I can't wait to see more of that. That's just explore new things. But Cowboy Bebop is always going to be my favorite, and that doesn't need any plugging.
There's what better way to end the show than other than Cowboy Bebop is just going to be our favorite.
See you later.
Bebop.
That's very fair.
This has been a phenomenal evening of sugar and anime.
Made pretty
and
impressive
reminiscing,
dents.
yeah.
Really
Right.
nice, too.
Products.
Didn't even get into the Gundam, and that's okay.
No, we never get into our arts and crafts.
I know, it's all right.
Thank
Well,
you
this is
so
a whole like
This
project.
is an
It is.
entire
That is
Gundam.
that is a.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's a whole Gundam.
Guys,
right there.
thank you so much for joining us at our new slightly later hour, which I'm kind of digging, and this has been a fun evening of anime reminiscing.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much to everybody for joining
Yeah.
us. Please
Thank
make sure
you.
to check out all of these people, all of their work. They are insanely talented and really entertaining people on the socials. So, and next week I am out for Gather Your Party, and I believe the week after that I am also out for Gather Your Party.
So I
I,
figure out 2 weeks without you, and you're
You
gonna
have to
see
gather
just
more
how
party.
weird
All
this show
Taliesin.
gets
Taliesin
when
for
it's
2 hours.
only me,
I
because
can't wait
I am
to
not.
get into these.
I'm going to need an adult. It's gonna
It's just Taliesin in a bathrobe
I-
and some wine.
Let me tell you.
Welcome to Gather Your Sadness.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. Next week, join us for another week of amazing things. Chris is going to be on my show on Game Engine
Yes,
as
next
well.
Tuesday.
Talking Comic Code on Wednesday. Something will happen on.
Something will happen on Friday. I'm
Thursday and
quite
Friday.
sure, but I will be out at Square Bowl, so catch me there next week. All right, everybody, thank you so much to the crew and to the cast. Good night.
Good night.